and 4. The battle is on. It's going to be too close to call side by side. Long Joe gets it. Oh, we got contact. We got flips. We got big wrecks here going back to the front because we're racing back to the line.
William Page with the victory.
Looking for second here.
Gonna
he's going to use that apron.
He's going to use the apron.
They're going to be side by side. Coming off the corner. Boy, back to the inside. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Tom Musa gets it.
Tom Musa, where did he come from?
Boyer trying to close the gap. He's going to get to the bumper. Oh, just barely did not make it. And coming off of turn 4, Jeff Stekenis is going to win it at Dover.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the Bomb Squad Racing League Hangover 200 here from the Talladega Superspeedway. A very happy new year to you and your entire family. As always, I'm your host, Joe Twansky. Alongside me tonight, well, we always say new year, new me, and for this fine gentleman, well, he's Tommy Bordeaux. Tommy, is it new year, new you, or?
No, Joe, it's the same old, same old. You know what you're getting. Welcome, folks, to our first broadcast of 2022, Joe. Should be a lot of fun here at Talladega. I'll tell you what, I don't believe in New Year's resolutions, but if I was one of these drivers out here tonight, I know for sure one thing that I can change for the start of this year is getting the victory in the very first race.
And this, of course, is your Circle B Diecast race preview. Remember to use code JTN at checkout for free shipping on your order of $20 or more. This, of course, the Talladega Superspeedway, 2.67 miles around this beautiful facility. 76 laps on tap for tonight. We're going to be giving out some prizes as well. $25 to our pole sitter here tonight. $25 from John Forgione for the lap 40 leader. Got a couple raffles, a secret prize to be given out at a later time, and also the winner going to receive a winner's plaque. So winner gets a trophy pretty much tonight, Tommy. That's what you always like to hear. You want to ring in the new year with a new piece of hardware.
Well, that's a big deal. I love hardware. I've managed to get hardware not just from online stuff, but real stuff as well, Joe.
Hey, you have a shrimp trophy, right?
And a shrimp trophy as well from winning over at Nacos over a year ago at this point. But hey, I'll tell you what, there's nothing quite like that. But one thing unique about it, Joe, is like you mentioned, some cash prizes for winning the pole. That's right, this is an open setup race here tonight. So these guys have been tinkering on their setups all day, and well, hopefully they have it dialed in here, not just for the race, but also to set that quick time.
Hey, I love cash. You know, cash money, it makes the world go round, and it's a beautiful thing to have. Watching these trucks out on track right now with our opening practice. We'll be going to qualifying momentarily. About a couple minutes or so, but Tommy, Talladega, always a unique challenge. But tonight with CTS physics and these trucks, it's really hard to get these runs generated.
Yeah, but that's the other thing about CTS, Joe, is, well, that may be the case. You're also going to get that pack stuck together closer. If you decide to jump out to that high line and you get a couple guys working with you, you're going to roll that thing pretty good. And I think you're going to see some multi-group action here. Not in the sense that you have to use different groups to be faster or anything like that. Just the nature of Talladega. You're going to get guys drafted together on the bottom, on the top, and everywhere in between.
It looks like somebody might have kicked this ahead to the race on accident. That wasn't us, was it, Tommy?
Well, it wasn't me, Joe. I don't have my hand on the mouse.
Okay, good. It looks like we're going to head on into qualifying here, and while these drivers take to the track for qualifying, Tommy, I was going to say you have a very special announcement, but I think I'm going to do the honors on this one. Folks, coming in 2022, a very new thing for you. It's JTN2. Subscribe now, link in the video description below to JTN2. We got a bunch of great new content coming. It's also going to be your home for the Fake Racers podcast into the next year. Our diecast reviews that I love doing. some other little projects that we're working on, Tommy. It's going to be fun to have a new outlet for some of our non-live content.
It should be a whole lot of fun, Joe. JTN too. I'll tell you what, I'm excited for this. There's a lot of good stuff coming your way. Fans at home that enjoy the live race broadcast and you just want to see a little bit more and something different. That's going to be the place to go. I know I've got some fun stuff planned to get up on there soon within the year. And, well, I should hope so in the next year. It just started. But in any case, Joe, it should be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to be part of this. And really looking forward to sharing it with everyone else.
Yeah, JTN2, it's the YouTube channel for you, was a catchphrase that we came up in some marketing meetings. But like I said, we're going to have a bunch of great stuff. I know you and the guys you're working on maybe a retro F1 podcast. I know I definitely want to do some more video essays like I was able to do over the summer this last year. And of course, keep those diecast reviews and the Fake Racers podcast going once we head into the 2022 motorsports calendar. A bunch of great stuff coming there. I know there's some video game related racing stuff and also a new outlet so we can do some non-racing stuff too without cluttering the folks that are only here for the live racing content. So again, your live racing home is still going to be right here on JTN, but some of that non-live content is going to be coming on JTN too. Go hit the subscribe button over there on JTN too if you want to help support us. We ask a lot of you. We can't thank you enough for it. And yeah, check out JTN too. It's going to be for the boys to be able to make some content of their own without my prying eyes on them 24/7. So I think it's probably a welcome relaxation of the oversight. Wouldn't you say, Tommy?
Well, at the very least, it allows all of us a little bit more creative freedom as opposed to just broadcasting races. And I think that's going to be a lot of fun, certainly. And Joe, JTN too. I mean, I'll tell you, I mentioned the Retro F1 broadcast a little bit there, starting up with a couple of us soon. That's something I'm really looking forward to. Some good stories for you folks at home about maybe some of the more obscure sides of Formula One history.
And there'll be a new video post in there at the conclusion of tonight's race, so you're going to want to make sure you're one of the first to go watch that again. JTN2, you can find the link down in the video description below. So you can go hit subscribe and make sure you're one of the first to know when something new gets posted over there, again, on JTN2. We redid our logos, too. I don't know. It's probably hard to tell. But I've been working last couple weeks without all these broadcasts.
Oh, it looks great.
Fun. You know, we're going to keep the ticker. I think we made the decision to keep the ticker the way it is, since we just did the big update with the custom number files and stuff. But yeah, appreciate y'all so much. Again, a very happy New Year. Thanks to all the guys here at Bomb Squad, of course, for bringing us out. A bunch of great prize pools here tonight. For these drivers, again, ring in the new year, and we'd like to remind you to drink responsibly. Wanted to put that out there. I know it's the Hangover 200. Remember, it's cheaper to get a cab or an Uber than to pay a DUI ticket. What a great way to start this broadcast, Tommy.
Well, I thought you were going to see a tattoo. I mean, we all make mistakes sometimes, but I suppose that applies as well.
Qualifying starting to wrap up, and it has concluded. Tommy, that means it's time for you to take us through tonight's starting lineup.
Well, Joe, I'm going to take a deep breath here because this is a long grid. We have a lot of drivers here in their trucks to show up tonight for this wonderful Hangover 200 event. But on pole, leading them to green tonight, winning that cash prize for the pole position, BSR Steven in the 510 truck, setting a time of 50.723 seconds around this racetrack. He eclipses Silver Bullet by just 3/100ths of a second to take that pole position. So tied up top. Ultimately, it's the 510 coming away with the cash prize tonight. Now, a couple more cash prizes your way tonight later on in the event. But here's how they're going to line up for the rest as we go green here in a couple minutes' time. Chevy Chase in third with the 28 of Herman Reese on his outside. Row number 3, Danny Hardy in the 03 and Les in the 97. Row number 4, Monty Keller in the 028 and Bob Sire in the 27. Rounding out your top 10 tonight, Jeff Havoc in the 101 and BSR Magoo in the 144. Outside of the top 10 in row 6, Rick Craddock in the 22 and Robbie Nisus in the 54. Greg Lovell and Brian Voiles make up row number 7. Bobby Farrell and Ryan Johnson in row number 8 in the 92 and 59 respectively. We have the number 084 car. That's R. LeBlanc Jr. there, lining up 17th with wings to his outside in the 31. Furco, Andrew Miller, Aussie Bill, ECTF Diesel 95, BSR Jimmy Dale, Brain Fade, Brian Lovell, Nelly, Lee Dog, Killer Jules, Ricky J, and Herman Reese makes up your field of 30 trucks here tonight for the Hangover 200.
Well, JTN cameras are going to get a workout here tonight, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. I got a huge field to go up and down, watch all the action with. Should be a lot of fun.
Going to be a lot of fun, folks. That's why you're going to want to make sure you don't touch that search bar. Hit the like button on the video while you're at it. Then you don't have to touch the mouse anymore tonight. Unless you aren't subscribed, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. You don't want to miss a second of the action here on JTN. Can't thank you enough for the 700, and I think it was 4950, whatever it is, subscribers out there. We appreciate you so much. We appreciate all your support there in 2021. On to 2022, we're going to keep getting better for you at home. Watching this 97-028 right now, kind of looks like everyone's just taking it nice and easy, keeping their trucks in pristine condition here, Tom. We want to make sure you keep that piece of equipment looking good here for the race in about 5 minutes.
Oh, of course. Now luckily, due to the magic of sim racing, anything you do right now is not going to affect how that truck condition is in the race. There's a lot of teams, Joe, in the garage that I'm sure in real life would love for that to be the case. But either way, speaking of the race, 76 laps around Talladega is no small feat, given the length of this racetrack. And despite the high speeds tonight, no doubt this is a bit of an endurance test here. You got to be at the end if you want to win the race.
Yeah, it could be a long night for some of these drivers if they're involved in an early incident. We all know it's not fun to drive around here at Talladega with engine damage or any type of damage on your race vehicle, but I do believe it's moderate tonight, so it might be the saving grace for some of these drivers if we do see an early big one. Fingers crossed that, of course, that does not happen here tonight. Getting that 40-lap halfway-ish prize of $25. That's only if we go under green on lap 40, so that continues to get pushed back. If, say, we're under yellow on lap 40, it'll get pushed back to 50, then 60, and so on. Officials, if they go past 60, I think they're still trying to figure out what they do. They have a little more faith in these drivers than maybe some of the folks at home that were posing the question to me before the race, Tommy, because everybody knows Talladega can just get so hectic, as we just saw there with the 33 going up and over in front of the 103.
It can get hectic, and especially if you have incidents like that with maybe in the race it'll be lap traffic or anything like that, because I wouldn't be surprised if throughout the race tonight, it doesn't matter what lap it is, we see some three-wide action. It's pretty common around these parts, and especially if you're coming up on traffic, everybody's got to be aware, especially if they're merging out of pit lane. You don't want an incident like that to happen.
Well, and while we're here in Alabama, of course, a big congratulations to the Alabama Crimson Tide, as well as the Georgia Bulldogs on their victories last night in the college football playoff semifinal. I don't think it's the result anyone wanted to see, Tommy, but the two SEC powers going to battle there tonight. Who do you think are going to be the two guys battling up front here tonight from Talladega?
Well, Joe, like I mentioned, an open setup race here tonight. That means if you got a fast truck in qualifying, you're probably going to have a pretty fast piece there. And the race, hard to tell exactly because we had a lot of drivers not attempt a qualifying run. But I think on these super speedways, you can always expect that 03 of Danny Harder to be up there towards the front at the end. And how about that 28 of Herman Reese? Now, he's qualified in the top 5 tonight, but he's been very good pretty much anywhere here on these JTN podcasts. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see them towards the front at the end of this thing.
Whereas Herman in the 28, usually piloted by old Mac Daddy Keith MC. Heard the normal driver of that 28 might have had too much fun last night headed into the new year.
Well, such is the namesake of this race, isn't it, Joe?
Again, thank you, folks, for tuning in. So Eli, as well as the Queen, Miss Kathy Voiles. Hope y'all are having a great start to the year. Tommy, it's a year that can only look better than the last.
Well, I should hope so. I'm all about, if there was ever going to be a year, it's this one, 2022. I'll tell you what. Whether you like it or not, this is what we got. So make the best of it.
Field lining up on the grid. We're going to go racing here momentarily from Talladega, folks. Again, can't thank you enough for tuning in. 76 laps around this 2.67 mile super speedway here tonight. Field of 30 trucks lined up on the grid. We await the command. Anticipation is building in the stands, as you hear.
Drivers, start your engines!
As there's that command, Tommy, and we get ready to go racing here from Talladega. Early keys for this one.
Well, stay out of trouble. We did mention that a little bit in half the hour. It's almost a no-brainer that you have to stay out of trouble on any race, but here at Talladega, even a little bit of damage, and well, it is on moderate, it still could affect things a little bit. Just the way they are truck and all that. So I think that's definitely one of the keys. Also, as far as pit stops, be careful on the entrance into pit lane. A lot of guys take it a lot of different ways, and you could get a guy sailing past you on the pit lane entry, and if you're not expecting it, you might move out in front of them and get rear-ended. That would not be fun. So be careful on the racetrack and off the racetrack. I know that's my strategy here for Tapper Super Speedway Racing. I know for other people, being careful is not what they do. They just go for it. But Joe, for me, personally, if I'm going for that grand prize at the end, I want to do everything I can do to make sure that my truck is still in the race by the time we get down to the white flag.
You got to be in the race to win the race. As the saying goes, you can't win on lap number 1, but you sure as heck can lose. These guys hoping to start the new year right in victory lane here in Talladega, Alabama. BSR Steven, he started in, the provisional victory lane, qualifying on pole in that number 510, $25 richer. Gonna be a good night, hopefully, for that 510 Ford team. They're, again, looking to start off the year strong. Got Silver Bullet to the outside in that 4, so some disappointment there, of course, qualifying second with the prize on the line, but you have to love seeing green racetrack, clear racetrack out in front of you, especially on these super speedways. Especially if I can use that word a couple more times, with such a big field. Ford Pace truck going to take us down into the entrance to the Tri-Oval and peel off the race track. BSR Steven now with control of this field. Fans are on their feet as we get ready to ring in the new year in 2022. Happy New Year, folks. Can't thank you enough for tuning in here tonight. Down into the start zone we go. We wait for that green flag to be displayed. There it is, green flag. We're underway here in the Hangover 200, and not the start the 510 was looking for.
No, not at all. He's lucky he got that $25 for winning the pole. $25 for being the one to lead across the stripe at the start of the race. He would not have gotten it. Silver Bullet with a humongous start on the outside line. He easily finds his way up into the lead. Right behind him, Herman Reese in that 28.
Top 6 already single file down the back straightaway and make it top 7. Sire in that 27. Looking into the inside of Monty Keller for 6th.
Gotta wonder, Joe, if these guys are gonna kind of Dale Jr. line it. We see it in real life at super speedways. Drivers kind of filing around single file, following each other to try and preserve their trucks to the end of the race. But I don't know. We're still side by side, pretty deep throughout this field yet.
Always put you on the edge of your seat up here in the booth as we're 3 wide with Havoc in the middle, Magoo on the outside, and that's the 97 on the bottom.
Yeah, gotta watch out. You're heading to turn 1. Looks like we're getting themselves sorted out side by side once again, but moves like that can turn sour pretty quickly. There's not that much space between these trucks, and they're 3 wide, even at Talladega, where it's a little bit of a wider track than Daytona. But nonetheless, you gotta be careful, especially if you don't really trust the guy next to you.
Less there in that 97 Miller Genuine Draft F-150 has help right now from that 22. The top 5 still single file here, Tommy. That's where you want to be, right?
I would definitely say so. You don't really want to be side by side with someone this early if you can help it. I mean, there's one thing to be said for maybe testing out some of the other lanes, but you're not going to get that much data right now because I think everyone's just trying to find their place, find their rhythm right now. 3 wide back in the field.
Oh, there's contact!
Fighting for the top 10 spot. We've got trucks around on their sides and almost flipping over. The good thing those roof flaps deployed. But that would be our first caution of the race in the year.
And I think this one qualifies as a big one, Tommy. Numerous trucks around on the exit of turn number 2. Let's catch you up with a replay. You saw it live on your screen. Contact between the 27 and 22 set this thing off. Couple heavy hits to the inside. Looks like the 95. That's Diesel with a big hit to that inside wall of concrete down there on this version of Talladega.
Yeah, it looked like also, I think that was the 97 truck of Les. And if you're just one of those guys who's apron of the grass, that's not that big of a deal for you. If you got contact with that wall, that could seriously impact the rest of the race here for your truck. Saw that 088 of Greg Lavelle there. Almost get onto his side. Like I said, the roof flap's doing a good job keeping it planted. Otherwise, he would probably be up and over on first roll and flip of the year.
A bunch of early issues, Tommy, and what do we talk about? You want to stay out of trouble early because you can end your night on lap 4. You definitely can't win the race.
No, you certainly can't. You would need something to happen like the 2002 Busch race at Talladega where the whole field, except for you and Stacey Compton, get involved. But and that wasn't quite the whole field. Nonetheless, looks like we're going to get some pit stops early on.
One final look at that incident, and just again, mayhem all over the back straightaway, folks. No other way you can slice it. A tough start to this one for numerous drivers.
Yeah, well, luckily for most of them, I think they're going to get away with not too much damage. You know, maybe some contact with their fellow competitors' trucks, but as long as you kept it off the wall, you're going to be in a better position than some. And with moderate damage, I would assume they'll be able to continue just fine. Now, we saw a large majority of the field come down to pit, Joe. The fuel in these trucks is only good for roughly 20 laps or so, probably less, given the fact that you're flat out all the way around and the way CTS physics works a little bit. So already 4 laps into this event, and they were looking at about 75% fuel left. Oh, some problems in the pit lane.
I was going to say, we're wrecking on the pit lane, Tommy. This is not the start of these drivers. I think, again, folks, make sure you drink responsibly.
That was Ryan Johnson there kind of getting turned around. A little bit of a chaotic start, not just on the racetrack, but off it as well. Luckily for everybody, relatively low speeds on pit lane, at least as compared to the back straightaway.
Tommy, what would be a good poll question tonight? How many trucks survive the race?
How many trucks are going to finish the race? Take the checkered flag. Doesn't matter if they're 1 lap down, on the lead lap, whatever. How many are we going to see make it to the end? Started with 28, taking the green flag. I don't know. I guess more or less than 20? I don't know. $20 or less, 20 or more, maybe 20 exactly.
Well, we put the poll question out there. Make sure you vote in chat. How many drivers will finish tonight's event? 25 to 30, 15 to 25, and then 1 to 15. I think that's fair. Those are some pretty big.
That's a good breakdown right there. Me, Joe, if I'm voting, I'm putting myself in that 15 to 25 camp. I think, we're going to get some big wrecks early on, and I'll tell you, I don't think the whole field's going to make it to the end. At least I'm going to say 15 to 25, and I'll put you an exact number too as a tiebreaker. We're going to see 21 trucks finish this race.
I see you went one above what Kathy put in chat. Is that on purpose?
Well, it's the old over-under thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Folks, again, can't thank you enough for tuning in here tonight to JTN. I'm Joe. He's Tommy with our coverage of the Hangover 200 here for the Bomb Squad Racing League. Trucks from Talladega. Again, can't thank you enough for tuning in. I'll say it 1,000 times tonight. Make it 1,001. Make sure if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on the video, as well as be a friend, tell a friend about our streams here on JTN. I like to think we put out some pretty good quality content. I'd like to hear what you think as well in the chat as well. You know, comment on our videos. You can comment on our previous live streams. Got a great archive of races here on JTN now with over almost 2 years now of experience for us, Tommy. Great archive of content. Some of the newer stuff, of course, better than some of the original first stuff. But again, can't thank you folks enough for tuning in here tonight on your New Year's Day Eve. Hopefully you were able to enjoy some college football the last couple of days. I sure did and didn't at the same time. And, yeah, I don't know. Spectacular sport, time of the year for sports in general. So, a Winter Classic, I think, is probably still going on right now. So, and yeah, of course, you got college football bowl games. So, we can't thank you enough for taking the time and choosing JTN here on a busy sports slate to start off 2022.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow, personally, Joe. A lot of NFL football action. I'm going to park myself on the couch, watch Red Zone all day, soak it all in. A lot of playoff implications can be made tomorrow to see who's going to make it, what has to happen, and maybe a couple fantasy football championships as well.
Hey, no playoff implications here tonight. This, of course, a standalone event. Would call it a fun race, although I know the boys here at Bomb Squad, they have actual fun races. This a little more serious with the prizes on the line. If you're Chevy Chase right now, you're out in front. Herman Reese, Danny Hardy, 1, 2, 3 right now. You're liking where you are, right? You're kind of out of the soup, as I like to say. You're out of that mess that we saw earlier. Are you feeling okay right now, or are you still a little worried?
Well, you can never relax too much, I think. Even if you are, say, the leader. It doesn't really matter where you are in the field, you can still get involved in an accident. Now, it's preferable to be out in front, like we just saw. Of course, those top 6 or 7 or so got away cleanly and didn't have to deal with any of that incident, but you can't lapse your judgment and your focus around here at super speedways. It may be tempting because, you're flat out all the way and you don't have to worry about much, but I'll tell you what, things happen quickly here, and when they go bad very, very fast.
Well, they go bad fast, and, well, these truckers, they're going bad fast here tonight. Again, Chevy Chase going to line up on the front row with Herman Reese to his outside. Still looks like everyone partaking in this event. No retirees so far, Tommy?
Well, Joe, no, we have one, unfortunately. The 97 of Les, he has retired from the event, so...
Oh, my.
Unfortunately, that's number one. Everybody on the pole still, within it. It seems as though we have 29 trucks here tonight. Looks like, I think that's the 19 of... Furco, yeah, has joined late. So they did make it to the race, had some battery issues on pit lane before the start, but that just helps out your 25 to 30 case a little bit there.
Folks, make sure you vote in that poll before the night's done, and then maybe you too can be a winner, like whoever ends up crossing the finish line first here tonight. That was a terrible transition. I will continue to try. My New Year's resolution, for JTN at least, is to be a little better at transitions. Just like the transition here onto the straightaway off the corner. That was a good one. I think part of, Tommy, the reason that the transitions aren't good is that I acknowledge the transitions. I think that's probably part of the problem. I don't know. Maybe not. Chevy,
if there's a mistake, you just move on. That's what you do.
Nah, you can acknowledge it. Chevy Chase with control here. Everyone knows you made it. You gotta acknowledge it. Chevy Chase with control here on the restart. Herman Reese to his outside. Down to the start zone we go. Green flag. We're back underway here from Talladega.
More of an even start for the front row this time. Our pole sitter way back there, only starting in 10th, so that just shows you how much that poor start affected the 510 of Steven.
Already getting taken 3 wide further on back there. Gets up in line in front of Ricky J. A little contact with the outside wall for Chevy Chase. Jeff Habbick there in that black 101 Chevrolet. A little squirrely there. A silver bullet right behind him in that Crown Royal number 4. And Danny Hardy has taken the lead here from Talladega.
How about that, Joe? That 03, I told you. Gotta watch out for him at these super speedways, and I'll tell you what, leading the way early. I don't think I realized it till just now, but both he and that 28 of Herman Reese with similar paint schemes tonight, I think. Did I get that right? I think I did.
The 28
Maybe
and the
not.
088?
I don't know what I'm thinking. I saw that 28 as a Hardy's car, but either way, those are still my 2 picks. One of them right now, leading the way.
Tommy will always pick the whoever's leading.
Well, you know, I picked it before the race for what it's worth. I just think these guys have got it going on. And right now, look at this. 2 wide, all these rows deep. It's like the whole field, other than our leader at this point.
Havoc looking in that 101.
Oh, contact!
Oh no.
We got a wreck on the front straightaway going into turn number 1. Johnson, I think, caught air a little bit. And our second caution of the night comes out here.
And a big hit car or truck into the catch fence. That's that 59, that Kingsford Ram of Ryan Johnson. Smoke billowing out of that vehicle now. Pace truck onto the track, and on Tommy, it's yellow flag number 2.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that happened in a very precarious spot. Remember the Daytona 250 at the U.S. World Cup Series opener last year? It was a different racetrack ran at Daytona, not Talladega. But that sort of, heading into turn 1 area, prime for wrecks to happen. And I think everyone's trying to put themselves in the right position heading into that corner. And, if you're 3 wide, there's not much room to reposition yourself. If you do it too much, then you run into another truck.
Our pole sitter, the 510, BSR Steven involved. It looked like Ryan Johnson in that 59. He comes up the track into, I believe that's the 11. Chick-fil-A colors on that 11 truck.
I think so.
Bunch of new wraps here tonight. Yeah, it's Lee Dog.
Lead dog there in the 11 for Ryan Johnson there, just trying to, widen the entry of the corner just a little bit. Didn't have any room to do it. That's one of those situations where I think, a spotter in real life could help you kind of know who's around you and how far away they are. But unfortunately, a big accident there. Multiple flips in that one. And I think we're going to have a couple more retirements after that one right there, Joe.
How frustrating does that get when you have incidents like this early on in the race from behind the wheel?
Well, I mean, if you're not involved, it's not that frustrating, I don't think. You obviously want the race to play out and keep going. And maybe you welcome these cautions just to kind of refuel and refocus. But if you are involved, it's the most frustrating thing in the world. I've had some pretty bad luck at
On board with Ricky J there, you see the contact up in front, and this 193 just going to kind of be swept up into it. Hard contact to the outside wall for that Boyles trucking forward. And Tommy, everyone else now taking the opportunity to come back down the pit lane.
Yeah, no surprise there after we saw the whole field pit last time around for that caution. Everyone trying to squeeze as much fuel as they can into these things, maybe save some under caution. Remember, there's that cash prize for the leader at lap number 40. You want to be that guy, that's for sure.
Well, folks, we're live here for JTN's coverage of the Hangover 200 as part of the Bomb Squad Racing League off-season, as that's a good way to put it, here in 2022. Can't thank you enough for tuning in. A very happy New Year to you and your entire family. And a great New Year's resolution to have is to make sure you're subscribed to and you commit to watching every piece of content here on JTN in 2022. Can't thank you enough, as always, for tuning in. Make sure if you haven't already, hit the like button on the video. Tell your friends to hit the like button on the video and subscribe if they haven't already as well. Again, here on JTM, we're striving to give you the best online racing league content. If you're running a league and you want to find out more about how you can get your league on JTN, feel free to contact us. Again, that's JoeTowNetwork@gmail.com. Or you can also contact us on Facebook. We have that linked down in the video description below. Tommy, we also talked about our new endeavor in the Open. Again, new in 2022. Well, it's JTN2. Make sure we got it linked down in the video description below. Keep saying that phrase. You're going to hear it a bunch more. You hit that link, go over, subscribe to JTN2 so that way you don't miss a piece of content when it gets uploaded. Again, new content coming. It's going to be your new home for the Fake Racers podcast as well. Again, that's JTN2. Go check it out. We got it linked down in the video description below. Kind of hard to search it right now because there isn't anything up on there yet, but wanted to give everyone the drop on it, you know?
That's right. Well, hey, better to know about it than not know about it, I guess.
Yeah.
I think there was something more I was going for on that one.
That was some wonderful insight.
Yeah. Well, you gotta pay your respects to the great John Madden.
Right.
Right. So,
gosh.
These trucks, when you push the throttle down, they go faster.
And then boom, you're in a wreck.
That's right.
John
Madden, a fellow Cal Poly graduate.
I know.
How about that?
I don't remember if it was the All Madden documentary, which, folks, if you haven't gotten a chance to watch that, even if you're not a football fan, you should, because hearing about this John Madden's life story is fantastic. Didn't realize he was a Cal Poly graduate, so that's got to feel pretty good, right?
Graduate, player,
Yep.
coached at a local community college a couple miles south from here. Definitely a big part of Central Coast football lore, as it were. Not that there's much to go off of in the first place, but, it's a little bit.
Hey, the greatest coach of all time if you look at winning percentage.
Right. Bill Belichick doesn't have a video game franchise named after him.
He ain't even in the video game.
That's right. That's right.
Folks, again, can't thank you for tuning in tonight. I couldn't figure out a way to tie that in because, when you think of John Madden, right, you think of the video game, you think of... But there's so much he did for the world of broadcasting for kind of the analysts, right? You think about how he kind of revolutionized... Is that how you say that? I don't know. I'm not paid to do this or anything. How they'd use the telestrator, right? And how you not necessarily dumb the game down, but explain these high-level concepts at a more enjoyable level. And I think that's his greatest contribution to not only football broadcasting, but broadcasting as a whole, because it's kind of opened up that door to allow us, even if it's a silly YouTube, right? Silly YouTube broadcast of sim racing, to kind of be able to talk about and make it the standard to talk about some of those little intricacies that, you wouldn't normally talk about.
Yeah, and not only that, Joe, but his pairing with Pat Summerall. They voiced many football games and real ones, as well as video games. And I know my favorite Madden, I think, of all time is Madden 02, in which case they commentate over that. And boy, there's nothing quite like that brings you back and firing up that on the old original Xbox and playing some 2-minute drills, passing footballs to Eric Molds and all the old Bills players. That's neither here or there. We got races around here, Joe.
We do. And I have one last thing. What was a better duo? Madden and Summerall, or you and me? I mean, and me and you. So happy together.
That's a tough one. I don't think we ever broadcasted a race, and I don't think we've done a football game. We don't have a great comparison just yet. But perhaps, I don't know how we would pull that off, but maybe one day.
Get a game NCAA or Madden going.
There you go.
Got it. Oh, great. 27 Sire on the bottom here for the restart. Then it's going to be that 22 of Rick Craddock on the outside. Again, apologies. I know there's a couple generics in here. We tried to get those issues ironed out, and looks like a couple slipped through the cracks. If you guys are watching and you see your truck for kind of in your post-race, you see your truck out there with the generic scheme, make sure you leave a comment about what was on it so you can get those sponsors out there, you know. Get the brand out there for the brand, as some would say. Craddock with control here on the restart, Sire on the bottom. And Silver Bullet, Chevy Chase, and Brian Voiles running out your top 5 here for the restart. Coming at you lap 15 of 76, Tommy.
And away we go shortly now. We're waiting for that start and finish line here. A little bit past the tri-oval, so our restart zone pushed a little bit further down. Waiting, and away we go. Back under green flag conditions here at Talladega.
A little bit of wheel spin from that 27 on the bottom. Going to have the 4 Silver Bullet tucked up tight on the tailgate. Going down into 1 and 2. Going to be side-by-side drag race for the lead through the corner.
Now back in the pack, a little bit of a single file there outside of the top 5. Man, these guys shifting around, going back and forth on the back straightaway always gets me nervous, because that's when wrecks happen. When guys try and shift lines or aren't holding it as straight as they could and run into one another.
I was going to say, when we're going on straightaway, you'd think these guys would know to go straight.
I'm telling you, sometimes it's hard, though, especially if you can't see in front of you. I mean, if you're tucked up right against that truck in front of you, you can't see around them, and that's going to be very hard for you to determine where you are. You know, maybe not so much in real life or let's say in virtual reality, but when you're on a monitor here, you don't have that kind of depth perception and field of view like you have in the real world. Pretty difficult.
Well, that was a real-world move by Silver Bullet there to sneak right in front of that 22 to take charge of this outside line. He's now on the outside of Sire for the lead down the back straightaway.
Boy, and just barely, too. The margin's so thin here between success and disaster when you make your moves and where you put your truck.
Silver Bullet now out to, well, not out to a lead, but at least has a little bit of a cushion to the first car in that truck in that bottom line. 22 also clear. See if Craddock decides to make a move. Again, that 101, that's Jeff Habbick. Has not been afraid to take these guys 3 wide. Continues to look to the outside here tonight.
So as far as speeds of these trucks in that draft, we're approaching 200 miles an hour, which I'll say that's different out here for these Craftsman Truck Series machines.
I see some Gander Outdoors on there as well. Got
Oh, I'm sure
Craftsman,
you do.
Gander Outdoors. We got whatever's on that 101s. Fair, I can't tell. Looks like they might have wrapped the wrong truck.
Well, hey, it's the first race of the year. You got to bring whatever you run. I mean, hey, you know, you're coming down to Talladega. It doesn't matter what the truck looks like. It matters how fast it is. And especially with this open setup format here. Whoa, we got one down to the inside on the apron.
That's the 31, the Cheetos machine of wings.
And Wings way out of line there. And looks like he's way off pace, too.
Try to follow up on that story momentarily. Back up front, though, it's Silver Bullet with the lead. Craddock in second. Then it's Chevy Chase and Habbick battling for third. Now Habbick battling for second on the bottom.
Joe, looks like that 31 of Wings, just a little bit of contact from right behind him, and the 043 of Brian Lavelle there got that truck sideways. He did a Herculean job to save it. However, he is, of course, off pace and out of the draft now.
From Brian Lovell to Brian Voiles as that 68 makes it 3 wide for position, sending that 27 of Sire back. Now Voiles looking to the inside of the 101.
Boy, and Sire, oh no, right behind him, Trumbull, the 92. Just a single car incident. That's Bobby Farrell, hits the inside wall.
We stay green, Tommy.
Just a single car incident, well out of the way, so green flag conditions remain. Looks like a little bit of contact with Danny Hardy, I think, on the back straightaway. His trucks jostling around, and just a little bit of a side swipe there kind of sent that 92 packing.
You see the replay there? Yeah, just a tough break there for Farrell, the Coors Light crew. Not too bad contact. Going to need a caution, though, to be able to catch up with the rest of the field.
No, and it looks like that Coors Light machine got loose out of turn
Oh,
number
we
2
got
a little
another
bit.
wreck.
Oh, here we go! The 11! Almost up and over.
How was that only one truck, Tommy?
Lead dog. Oh, wow. What a ride he took hard back onto the ground.
I think my breath just got taken away.
And this time the pace truck does come out for that incident. My goodness. Well, that was exactly the kind of caution that Farrell and Wings needed. That was quite the air that 11 truck got.
I think that proves that Havoc might be a little more of a hamburger person.
Yeah, not a chicken fan, looks like. That 11, Joe, that 11 pirouetted on his nose. You don't see that too often. It was just kind of stable on, and it never rolled or flipped, but, whoa, my goodness, I can't imagine what that would have been like behind the wheel. Good thing we have seatbelts in these trucks.
Might not want to eat any more chicken after that. Might have lost some chicken. Under yellow for the third time here tonight from Talladega. Field packed back up. Tommy, folks always say new year, new me, but that also means you need to get some new wardrobe. Head on over now to the JTN merch store. You get yourself some JTN logo merch. We got hoodies, t-shirts, stickers, as well as coffee mugs available. Again, that's the JTN merch store. Linked in the video description below. You want to go that extra mile to help support us here on JTN? Again, head on over to that JTN merch store. Get yourself some JTN logo merch. I mean, that JTN logo is huge on the t-shirt. I mean, no one will not see the logo. They get a double negative in here in 2022.
Can't mistake it for anything else.
No, you cannot. Those will get updated here. I forget if we updated them on the store. That's probably bad. That's bad, Joe, on my part. But field down the pit lane. To think a lot of right side, left side, 2 tire stops here. Just put a little bit of fuel in it. You don't need 2 entire cans, so no sense in taking 4 tires.
Yeah, and I think at this point, Joe, these guys are going to make it to that lap 40 mark on this tank of fuel if they pit this time and fill it up all the way. So that's good to know if you're one of those that wants to get up to that top spot and claim that cash prize for being the leader of lap number 40.
I said don't take 4 tires. Silver Bullet takes 4, loses 5-6 spots on the pit lane. Not the stop that team wanted, not the way they wanted the strategy to roll. But Chevy Chase going to be the first one off of pit road.
Joe, I'm pretty excited, of course, for tomorrow, like we've mentioned already. NFL football coming at you. Mm-hmm. But also, Monday is the start of a new year of USORL action. A lot of new series starting up once again, including the JTN broadcasted USORL Red Bull AlphaTauri Cup Series on Saturdays. My goodness.
I was going to say, get it right. But you're not going to be part of the booth. But you're also going to be driving, so I don't know.
No, well, that's the fun part. I can't wait to be driving, Joe. Look, these past couple months, we've still had some racing series going, but it's been lacking overall, and I cannot wait to be behind the wheel against these competitors. We've seen last year I got to watch and talk about. Now I get to be part of the action for the whole season. It's going to be a lot of fun, I'll tell you that much. Hopefully I can provide a couple inside reports there, too, here and there during races.
Sounds like you might have those guys scouted.
Well, when we did that New Hampshire race there, it was one of the funnest things ever. I don't mind coming in the middle of the race to let everyone know what's going on, but
it's always fun to lead the race by like 10 seconds, right? It's always fun.
Oh yeah. If we didn't have a late caution, I could have lapped the whole field, man. I'll tell you what.
Well, Tommy, we're gonna miss you up in the booth, but can't wait to see what you and the entire 57 team do. What team are you? Are you PTR? Are you Converno Racing? That's right.
That's right. Yep.
Is there an alliance in there?
Oh, of course. Yeah,
Okay.
you know, we're all friends here. You know, we're all working together. It's just
We're not
it's
friends as sim
tax
racers,
reasons.
though, right? Tour.
Right. Well, that's yeah.
See, if you've been part of our clique, we'll call it, for a while, you get some of the inside jokes here on JTN.
That's right.
That's why you got to make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of the jokes.
Speaking of which, and I don't think I mentioned it at the time. I don't think we've had a broadcast. I think we have had some since where I've been on, but the 13th of December was my 7th year sim racing anniversary.
Wow.
And Joe, on that day, you and I, with some damaged race cars after a first lap incident, drafted together at Daytona for 50 or so odd laps to cruise to some 13th and 14th place finishes, I think. Who would have thought?
Not me.
All these years later, here we are.
Here we are, Tommy. I've changed a lot, and you are still Tommy Bordeaux.
Hey, you know, I think Drake has a line, something along the lines of, I don't remember what it was, but pretend I said something insightful there.
Then it wouldn't be a line by Drake, now would it?
Oh,
Oh.
paging Darren Ingram on that one.
Darren's watching. He would have said he was watching.
That's true, that's true. Well, back to the action in front of us. We're watching, too. We're watching Chevy Chase lead the way once again here after the pit stops. And I do believe some of these guys are saving fuel, and I think they're going to be able to make it to that lap 40 mark. Joe, what's on stake for the leader at lap 40?
Again, leader, as long as it is under green on lap 40, will take home $25. And that's by way of John. I'm going to get your name wrong, John, and I apologize. John Forgione. And the fine folks at, give me 1 second, and I will get the business right, because that's what we do here on JTN. And Rolling Grill Barbecue in Belport, New York. Of course, John, the pitmaster there. I wish I could be a pitmaster. That's just a cool name, cool title to have.
It is a pretty cool title. I'll tell you
Used to
what.
be a master.
Maybe the pit reporters here at JTN, they could be called pit masters, something like that. Think about it. That's all I'm saying.
Do we even have the budget for pit reporters?
Well, not exactly, but
That's why you got to
maybe
run
one
back
day.
and forth half the time. Going back green on lap 25 of 76. Going to be Chevy Chase with control. Monty Keller to the outside. And it's Diesel in the 95, Greg Lovell, and Brian Voiles. Your top 5 here for the restart. Been a weird start to the race, Tommy. What are you looking for as we kind of pass the third of the way marker?
Thus far, we've already been seeing a couple wrecks here all throughout the field of guys, 2, 3 wide getting into each other. Now, we've had 2 big ones. The most recent one, not as big, but we did see some separate incidents. I'll tell you what, the saying holds true. Like I mentioned at the start of the race, you got to be there at the end if you want to win at the end. And I think that's holding true. We've seen so far a couple incidents here. As we go back to green, Chevy Chase, putting the throttle down, away we go again.
Inside line with a better start than the outside, although a little bit of momentum starting to form there behind that 028 fire alarm services machine of Monty Keller. Chase clear, though, the outside. See if he moves up here coming off the corner. He does.
He does. Now down the back straightaway here. A lot of wrecks can happen. Guys shuffling around, trying to block some lanes or move into some other lanes where we've seen a couple incidents tonight already. Gotta watch on these restarts as well. Double file a long way through this field.
Blocking is such an underrated art, right? Everyone always talks about the guys that throw the bad blocks and start the big wrecks, but you never talk about a good block, and we've seen a couple here from our leader, and that was a good non-block there for Chevy Chase as Monty Keller with momentum on the inside looking for the pass down into 1.
And here comes Keller on the inside lane. Don't know if we've really seen one line prevail or not, Joe. We haven't really had long green flag runs for it, only a couple laps per run. Hard to know exactly, not to mention how even these lines have been tonight. The top and the bottom, side by side the whole way, really hard to tell. That outside line, though, with Chevy Chase able to get that run off of turn number 2 and take the lead once again. And he likes to stay out there, so I think these drivers might think at this point that that middle lane seems to be working better for them.
I was going to say, right now I like the outside just because there's a little more momentum. We're still kind of even with the trucks. I like having the speed down the straightaway, especially here at Talladega where that start-finish line is here on the exit of the tri-oval. We won't mention that anymore tonight, I doubt. I like the outside, but we've seen that the outside is where all these guys have been collected in these big events, or big wrecks. So going to be something to watch, how you kind of balance that, the speed, the amount of trucks that you have in a line too, obviously a big factor, but then when you see what we're seeing right now with these top 3 on the outside, when they're really formed up, man, you can move.
Oh, I was going to mention, Joe, just look how well they're working together. That was beautiful. Down the back straightaway, everyone just stable, close, working together, and you saw that advantage they gain now. That's third place, jumping out of line. Silver Bullet to the inside lane, underneath Greg Lavelle, trying to make his way up to the front.
Lovell there in second, going to have to fend off a challenge there from Silver Bullet. Magoo now in that 144 closing in on the tailgate of the 088. And Monty Keller now second in line. See what this 028 does to try to push the 4 back out in front.
Oh, getting close to some 3-wide action there, a little bit deeper down into the field. Last time on the back straightaway, they were double file and looking beautiful. This time by a little bit more shaking around.
Well, that was Ricky J looking to make it 3-wide on the boss man, Brian Voiles. So, interesting tactic there from the driver of the 193.
Well, I'll tell you what, one thing we mentioned about super speedway races is, the draft. And if you're able to work with teammates, we've seen it so often at the U.S. Royal races here on JTN, the guys that work together like NCM Racing or IPA, you're able to get hooked up with your friends. You can do a lot of good work out here. And, man, I'll tell you what, it would be great to have some friends in this race here, given the number of trucks here and everybody fighting for positions. If you can work with at least 1 or 2 other people and you can trust them, that would help out a lot, I think.
Well, Tommy, that's the problem. Everyone's friendly, but nobody's truly friends right now out here on the track. We've just seen everyone ditching each other when they get a run. I haven't really seen any driver commit to the tailgate of a fellow driver here tonight. See if that changes as we get towards the end of this race, but non-committal so far from a lot of these drivers.
Well, we were wondering earlier about the preferred lane, and I think what you're seeing right now is proof that middle lane is the way to go. Thus far, anyway. They've not only been organized well, but have pulled away from that bottom lane quite a bit. And if you're one of those drivers on the bottom lane, you're going to maybe want to move up there, possibly, get in that toe. I mean, you see it right there. Silver Bullet doing just that, as I was talking about it.
Insightful commentary, Tommy. That's why you're the best in the business.
It's like I could see the air.
Like you could see forward in time.
So Chevy Chase still leads in that 496 car. It's truck. I don't know.
It's okay.
Start a jar, Joe.
Another nickel in the jar.
That's right, because, man, 2022, you never know when we're going to broadcast. And how many times is it going to be trucks and I say car? Well, probably a couple more tonight at least.
Silver Bullet look to the bottom to try to get something going. Going to be ditched by Brian Voiles, Ricky J, and Danny Hardy. Voiles and Ricky J look now to go back to the bottom. They're going to take that 03 with them.
Yeah, here they come, and there comes the 11. Lee Dog, who was on his nose not too long ago, leading this pack. Got to wonder how much damage he got. Can't be too much if he's out here in the top 5, so that's a good sign for the 11 crew.
Boyles ditches his teammate there on the bottom to get into that outside line. 5th in line there in that 68 lead hog. Going to get the push from the 193 Ricky J.
Yeah, and right there on the outside, that 510 VSR Steven. Haven't seen him up front since the very start of this race, so good to see that truck back into the picture. Got a little bit of work to do if he wants to get that second cash prize of the night, but we're nearing in on that here, and it's like he's got a good shot at it.
Boyles now to the inside of the 510, so we're really watching a masterclass right now by Brian Boyles of working the lines, working the draft. We have that 11 all up on the tailgate here through the tri-oval. Not necessarily what you want because it gets so loosey-goosey there. They make it work this time. Boyles now looking for third to the inside of Magoo, and the 22's around at the back of the pack. We're under caution, Tommy.
We're right at the start and finish line there. I think we're going to get back going green before that lap 40 mark, Joe. It's going to be close.
Mad dash.
So it's going to be really intense here, fighting for that bonus.
It's like Craddock across the front bumper of Havoc. And that 10 times fast, you can't. Heavy contact with the outside wall for the 22.
And those rear wheels up off the ground for a large portion. You're out of control at that point. It's kind of terrifying, especially with how fast you're going. You know, not the worst thing in the world to be sideways at the start and finish line when you've won the race, but if you're still in the middle of it, never a fun time.
What would be a fun time, Tommy?
Well,
we gotta have like a bar that we set. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, a couple fun things would be if you're the guy coming home with some money at the end of the thing, as well as a plaque. We're celebrating the Hangover 200 victory. We're not quite halfway there just yet in this thing, but we're going to get there shortly. And boy, at that point, you know, you're looking at it, and you got to finish the race to get there first, Joe. And as far as finishers go, well, 3 trucks will not finish, so 26 left. So a little poll update for you there, following along at home. 26 trucks remaining in this race thus far.
So the folks in that 15 to 25 range feeling okay. The folks in the 25 to 30 range, they know they got 2 trucks left that they can give up to win.
Yeah, and 15 and below, they've got some work to do.
What do you win? Well, you win our, I don't know, affection? Our thanks? I don't know. What would be the...
Oh, a good pat on the back for guessing the right number. You know, it's like, you know, how many M&Ms are in this jar? Well, hard to tell at the start of a race how many trucks you're going to have finishing it. But hey, if you get it right, that's pretty good. Good on you.
Good on you. Bristol says some nice ear scratches.
That's right.
That's what he would like, so that's what we're giving away. You can scratch your own ears.
So some early takers to pit lane. I think we're going to see some more drivers come down here. Remember, you should be able to make it to lap number 40 on fuel from the last pit stop, but I mean that's probably not the best move. I think the best move would be to come down pit lane, fuel up for the long term, Joe.
$25 is a lot of money, Tommy.
It is, but that plaque is pretty tempting.
You do get to keep the plaque forever. And $25, you'll spend it on like dinner one night, you know? And it's gone.
One DoorDash.
Huh. Give me a break. Looks like these drivers have a similar thought.
Yeah, seems like that long-term strategy is prevailing, and you know that's a good idea. But we will have to see, though. Only going to be a couple laps left before that lap 40 mark. I would assume, Joe, that things are going to be pretty intense as these drivers know what they have to do to get there.
Well, we got a long way to go and a short time to get there, Tommy. You gonna watch that bandit run?
Busy working on my 9 moves. Check back later. Joe, as I've got the live stream up on one of my secondary monitors looking at that January 1st, 2022 date. We made it, folks, and we're glad you're here watching with us. 2022, it's a good-looking year. And, you know, everybody says that 2020 was going to be good as well, with the good-looking year and all that. And that didn't really work out too well. But 2022, you know, I guess, if anything, 22 is a pretty cool number, right? I mean, it looks good. I know watching the ball drop last night, having that flash up in Times Square, it looks pretty cool to me.
How does that work for you, though, since you're out there on the West Coast? You know, because everyone's celebrating the new year, but it's still 2021 for you.
Yeah, so for us, they just rerun the hour. So we're seeing the East Coast celebrate 3 hours later, basically.
No, you're not.
Yeah, we are.
No.
That's what we do. Yeah, that is what we do. That's what happens. That's what the TV shows.
Oh no.
See, what they'll do is they'll mix it up, right? I mean, they'll have some more. They'll make it seem like it's not a rerun, right? They'll throw in some updated stuff like, hey, you know, in 40 minutes, you know, our LA party is gonna do this and that and stuff like that. But it's Times Square, New York, 3 hours ago. Everybody knows it. You know it. I know it. We all know it. That's just how it goes.
Oh. Sugar Bowl update to folks out there, so if you don't want to be spoiled for that, cover your ears for about the next 30 seconds. Quarterback for Ole Miss, Mississippi, Matt Corral has been carted off the field, so prayers up for Corral. He's a tough guy because he loves football because he played in the bowl game that's meaningless in the grand scheme of things.
I can respect the heck out of that.
Oh, no, I
You
respect it, but, like,
I
that
don't
whole
care,
argument
man.
got brought up.
You may have gotten hurt, but I'm telling you what, I don't care. And that's the other thing, Joe, talking about college football is these coaches that leave before their bowl games too. Like, I don't know. Like I get it. You know, if you're playing in the MeinikeCare.com bowl or whatever, like I get it. It's not prestigious, but still, man, you work with that team all year long. Some of those guys, if you've been coaching there for a while, you've raised since they were freshmen, and you know now you're just abandoning them like that. I don't know. That just doesn't sit right with me.
It's an apparent knee injury, but for the guy that could quite possibly have been the first quarterback off the board in the spring NFL draft, definitely not the development that they want for him.
I'd say this is planned. See, Joe, now he's going to go later in the draft, probably to a better team. You know what I'm saying? That's the good strategy right there. I'll tell you what, get yourself on a good franchise like the, well, I hate to say it, but something like the Patriots or the Buccaneers or something like that, or
yeah,
you know, but you know, instead of the Jets or the Jaguars. I mean, not the Jaguars this year, probably
the Lions.
not. Or yeah, exactly.
You can say it. It's okay.
Right.
I understand. No one believes in us. No one
I
believes
believe
in this
in you
city.
guys. That's
no,
the thing.
Don't.
I believe in you guys. I do, because if you had won all the one-score games this year, you'd be looking at a playoff berth.
Yeah.
So you're close, and I believe in you guys.
And if Michigan would have, you know, the game was only the third and fourth quarter last night, Michigan would be going to the national championship game, but we're not going to talk about that either.
Such is the case.
What's more frustrating than college football, man? What's more frustrating than college football? Congratulations also have to go out to the other New Year's Six Bowl winners. Michigan State defeated Pittsburgh in the Peach Bowl on Thursday, and then today Oklahoma State, one of the OSUs, defeated Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl, and then the other OSU, Ohio State, not upset, but defeated Utah, unfortunately, in what was pretty much a road game for the Buckeyes. But congratulations to all those schools. Of course, congratulations goes out to all the other teams. Central Michigan won the Sun Bowl. That's the ultimate underdog story. You think we're going to see an underdog winner here tonight?
Hey, we could. I mean, you never know. At Talladega, we've seen that before. We'll see it again. Sometimes the slipper just fits right here.
Some guys just see the air a little bit better, you know? I think one of those guys right now, we always see him up towards the front in these super speedway races, but Brian Voiles in that 68, been very impressive here tonight, been able to kind of work the lines. I really like what I'm seeing out of that 68 truck right now, kind of being aggressive, but not stupid. So I think a lot of times we put those two words together.
That whole last run, just the methodical approach to it, climbing up the field, and he's put himself in a great position now here on the front row for the restart. Everybody knows a couple laps time we're going to be handing out some cash, so take a look where you are right now. Unless you're the leader, you don't want to be where you are. You want to be up front.
You got 3 laps to go win yourself some money. Unless you're one of the guys in the back, then you're hoping you have 13 laps to win yourself some money and then gets pushed back. Pace truck going to come off of the pit lane. Remember, folks, it's going to get important here momentarily, but that start-finish line not in the center of the tri-oval. Greg Lovell, though, with control here on the restart from the outside lane. Brian Voiles, Ricky J, Chevy Chase, and Danny Hardy, your top 5. The restart coming on lap 38 of 76. Green flag, we're back underway here from Talladega.
Chevy Chase didn't get that good of a restart there. And that's going to hurt that outside line and help the inside of Brian Voiles, especially because Lovell's got no help.
68 Voiles is clear. 193 Ricky J now clear. Danny Hardy going to try to get clear. Lovell hugs that 03 truck. 31 of wings down into the grass. We stay green. He's out of the way.
Yeah, still green. Looks like a little bit of contact there. Wings had to hold on to it. Voiles around the middle line there. Hardy on the inside doesn't have as much help. That outside lane forming up nicely now.
68, 193, 088, 03, and 096. Your top 5 here. 2 laps to go before halfway for the payout.
Boy, just look how lined up they are in a row around that middle lane. That's what you want to be able to do. And if you're the leader, you love that because it makes it easy, especially if you've got a friend behind you. And having no attacks from the bottom helps too. But there goes 3rd and 4th. They're going to pop that line. That's that 088 LaBelle there on the bottom. Chevy Chase following behind. And side by side for the lead we go into turns 3 and 4.
Not enough help there from Voiles in that middle line. Lovell going to be clear now for the lead. Who's going to win the extra money, Tommy? It's just going to be too close to call, isn't it? As we got contact.
Oh, and around goes Voiles hard into the wall. And Chevy Chase across the line first for that, but a huge incident. Trucks everywhere along the front straightaway. This, I think, Joe, can be qualified as the big one.
Truck on its roof. It's Silver Bullet in the 4. He has gotten a tow back to pit lane. Tommy, a couple trucks up in smoke.
My goodness, that was quite the race. The smoke still not even cleared from that start and finish line area. We had trucks all over the place. Oh, and we're slowing down here. We're contact after the fact. As everybody trying to slow down to catch up to the pace truck. But you'll see right here on the replay what happened.
Things have gone from bad to worse for some of these truckers.
That was a chaotic run to the line right there. Ultimately, it was the 096 of Chevy Chase who led that lap, but wow.
I also think it's that 096 that makes first contact, Tommy.
Just a little tap there on that left rear quarter panel of the 68. And when accidents happen at the front of the field, that's when you get big problems like this.
Couple trucks gonna pop a few wheelies, one of them being this 193 Ricky J, center of your screen. There's that bad smoke coming out of that truck, too.
Yeah, when it gets dark like that, you know something's wrong with that motor.
Big time problems with that motor, buddy. Danny Hardy, Magoo, they almost made it through, although probably not too much damage on those trucks. You know who it's going to be fun to go on board with?
Who's that?
Our pace truck.
He had quite the ride through this thing. Didn't slow down at all.
Watch the wreck off to your right. Here it comes. He just went for it. Look at this. Oh, just obliterated Magoo.
Folks, we got the best in the business there behind the pace truck. No fear.
I believe that's
Quick response.
I believe that's our friend Davey Hazard behind the pace truck. You're on board with Magoo. Tommy, just some massive hits.
Certainly, and unfortunately for the one we were just on board with there, Ricky J, that's going to be a retirement for him, as well as the 021 of Aussie Bill. So 2 more retirements added to the list, and for those of you in the 15 to 25 range, you are now in your window.
Barrel up and on his side too, so I caught that out of the corner of my eye that time on the replay. Oh man, Tommy. You get confirmation on that bonus money too. I was sitting here under yellow. I do believe we're getting that pushback to lap 50 now.
Well, if that's the case, then we're still going to see some exciting action here for sure. I mean, you saw how intense it was coming to lap 40 there, that time by, and well, now we can't imagine 10 more laps to, a little bit less than 10 laps to get up there.
Get you one more look at the wreck here. Go on board with the 096 Chevy Chase. So Monty Keller now with control of this race, Tommy. Now Lee Dog in second. Diesel, Farrell, and Craddock your top 5.
So we got confirmation there, Joe. The bonus not being pushed back, so that is it right there. So Chevy Chase with the bonus right there at the line. And it was quite the run to the line indeed for that extra cash.
Hey, he'll go home $25 richer. A lot of tore up sheet metal, but I have a couple truckers might think that they're owed some money from the driver of this 096, but you know, Chevy's taking home that 25. That's all that matters.
And well, if he's going to have to pay people, it's going to be a little bit more than 25, I would suspect. So yeah, it may be a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to go a long way.
Well, it's virtual, right? So like, what is like $100,000 is actually like a penny. I think that's how the conversion goes. I think he'll be good.
If that's the case, then I would have been Formula One by now. That's all I'm saying.
Tommy, what's your favorite piece of JTN merch on the JTN merch store?
Well, this is an easy answer for me. The Tommy's World shirt, of course. Doesn't get much better than that, Joe.
What's on that shirt, Tommy?
We get the TWB Airlines Toyota Camry vehicle. You get the Tommy's World logo all on the front there. You get to show people you know what's up. You realize that it's Tommy's World and you're just living in it.
Just living in it.
That's right.
Can I get you to sing the song?
Not right now, I haven't warmed up.
Okay. Alright, that's fair.
Maybe after a couple of minis and whatnot. But my vocal exercises show I did them for broadcasting tonight, not singing.
There's a difference. There's a big difference, folks.
Different parts of the diaphragm in use here today.
Monty Keller going to have control here. Lead dog to the outside. Diesel, Farrell, and Craddock, your top 5 here for the restart. Lap 45 of 76. With 32 laps to go in this one, Tommy. If you thought things were intense there coming to the bonus, things are about to heat up just a little bit more.
Yeah, headed to this finish when there's a plaque on the... Yeah, that was $25 on the line, Joe. Now there's a plaque on the line. I'll tell you what, it's going to get exciting. We got 24 trucks left in this race right now.
24 trucks. So, folks, looking like that 15 to 25. If you haven't voted yet, that's where you're going to want to vote. There's still 24 left, over halfway in this one.
If we get a race to the checkered flag and a big wreck towards the end there, I mean, it's like they roll across the line. That counts. So
it's got to make it to the end.
Just got to make it across that line.
Field through the tri-oval. Keller with control here for the restart. Oh no! The outside lead dog with struggles. Green flag, we're back underway, and already Diesel all over the tailgate of Monty Keller.
Boy, that was an interesting start there. That 11, remember he was on his nose earlier. Don't know if there was some kind of issue there. But I mean, you can imagine that truck's perfect after kind of doing a handstand. But nonetheless, we're underway after that stack up on the outside lane. That bottom line is rolling now. Danny Hardy up there now into the top 5 in 4th position on the bottom.
Now, we've seen that 2 restarts in a row where that outside doesn't get going. Like we've seen earlier on in the night. Is that troublesome to you? Are you worried about that at all? Or are you still taking the outside if you have the opportunity to pick?
Well, I think it's a little bit worrisome just because you saw there coming to the checkered, not really a green checkered flag, but at the last caution to the start and finish line, it was the bottom lane that prevailed that allowed them to get to the lead and saw Chevy Chase win from. So I don't know. I think there's still some definite value there in that middle lane, but ultimately it does depend, I think, on who you're around and where they go more than anything else.
You just want to be around some fast truckers that you trust. Big moment there. Oh, Andrew Miller into Greg Lovell. We got more contact. We got trucks into the wall, but we stay green. We stay straight.
I am shocked, Joe. You don't get away with contact like that and keep going. Great job for all those involved there to keep their trucks pointed in the right direction. That was incredible.
Back up front, battle for the lead rages on. Craddock on the bottom, Monty Keller to the outside. Battle for third with Danny Hardy and Diesel. Magoo creeping back up into the picture after being involved in that last wreck, Tommy. I mean, I guess everyone was about involved in that last wreck, huh?
Basically everyone, but again, kind of like the first incident we saw tonight, those who were able to keep off the walls, got away pretty cleanly. Now, Magoo, of course, had the pace truck phase through him, but that did not affect his vehicle at all. So he is running okay now, and maybe a mental scare a little bit there with the bright orange pace truck going through your own vehicle, but nonetheless, looks like he's going to be okay.
Inside lane starting to fall back just a little bit here behind that 144. We're going to stay with the side-by-side racing is up front. We're kind of getting strung out. There's Andrew Miller in that 86 Fulton Bank Powerade machine. And don't look now, that Forest Silver Bullet creeping his way back up into the picture.
So I think now we're at that stage where we're racing to the finish here. And as we're winding down the laps in this race, soon we're going to be at just 25 to go. These guys, have got to set themselves up for that finish. I think part of that might be this single file we're seeing up front is just that. Because if you're up towards that front in the top 5 or so, you don't want to take a risk and maybe lose a couple spots. You want to be in that position as we get towards the end. Now, we're still going to have to make one more pit stop for fuel before the end of this thing. Whether or not that's under green flag conditions or not, we will see.
If you're a driver, you don't want another caution, but you'd prefer pit stops under yellow, right? Less opportunity to make a catastrophic mistake.
Well, it depends who you are. For me, I always prefer green flag pit stops.
Oh yeah, because you're
I feel like I can get in there.
Yeah.
And but I think for some of these guys, maybe it would help them to maintain their track position and not leave it to question whether or not they're going to come out with draft partners or what have you. That bottom lane being led by Silver Bullet creeping back up into the picture. So here we go. Let's see if we get some side-by-side action towards the front. It has been certainly towards the rear of the field, and despite that early scare on that second lap of the restart, it's been pretty clean since then. And how about the run that this bottom line's getting?
They say Silver Bullet was up and on his roof, Tommy, in that last big incident, so a good rebound right now for this 4th-round Royal Silverado team.
Looks like Craig's going to be in that sucker hole there. Keller to the outside, Hardy to the inside. 3 wide through turn number 4. That is not the place you want to be for the 22.
No
help for him.
No help. A very lonely place right now in the middle. Continuing to fall back is that 22. Race to the line. Give that lap to Danny Hardy in the 03 Hardy's Silverado. I see what they did there.
Of course. Craddock settles down. He's still in that top 10 group. Oh man, but 3 wide still on the back straightaway. 2 rows deep.
3 wide does not make me feel good right now, Tommy, especially because we still have over 20 laps to go in this one.
Yeah, 25 this last time by, going to be 24 across the stripe this time, so still plenty of time left in this race, especially knowing we've got that pit stop coming up in a bit as well. I think if I'm one of these drivers and crew chiefs, I'm talking about when you want to make that pit stop, I think the best thing to do is wait as long as you can. You don't want to come in and get caught out, although maybe that's the way to do it, Joe. The place is big enough where you're not going to get lapped. You know, if you pit early and get a quick caution, then you would definitely get an advantage from that, but I don't know if you can leave that to chance just yet.
You just don't want to lose the pack, right?
That's right.
You got a big
here
wreck.
Comes our yellow. Big wreck on the back straightaway. Steven involved.
Chevy Chase, our bonus winner, hard into the inside wall. Jeff Havoc as well. KJ Kilojoules around in that Wrangler Silverado. We haven't really talked about KJ here tonight. Fix you up with a replay. Tommy, and this one was going on for a while.
Yeah, Joe, we saw these guys side by side on the back straightaway. Many laps, 3 wide for a while. You saw right there, up against the wall sideways, kind of pinned there. All the way down the back straightaway, it looked like. And man, oh man. Not as bad of an incident as we've seen before in this race, but still, a couple hard hits.
Never good to see an incident, although a lot of these truckers that maybe weren't looking for those green flag pit stops were going to be kind of put on the cusp of making it to the end on fuel, Tommy.
Yeah, we're going to be right on that knife's edge, and I think if you pit on the last lap that you can under this caution, and clutch and coast for a bit of pacing as much as you can, as well as utilize the draft and maybe let off a little bit in it when we go back green. It's going to be close. You might be able to make it to the end on fuel. But, Joe, that'd be an awfully big stretch. It's possible, but it's going to take a lot.
Possible, but not probable.
Well, and you also got to factor in, is it even worth it to do that, Joe? You might get another caution, and then it's all null and void, especially if you gave up some track position to pit late or to kind of be in the back and clutch.
How big of a risk do you want to take? I think that's what we're about to get the answer to. Hardy on the pit lane, bringing everyone with him. While we're under yellow, this is a great opportunity to talk about our upcoming races presented by our friends at TWB Technologies. As always, together we are better, always better when you're tuned in here to JTM. We got a bunch of Saturday night action coming at you in January. Next Saturday night, 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time. It's the USORL Cup Series. That race, that might actually start a little bit earlier with the duels there for the Verizon 250 kickoff. Season 8? Season 9? What season are we in, Tommy?
Season number 8.
Season 8 of the USORL AlphaTauri Cup Series from Daytona. Again, that's next Saturday, January the 8th. Right about now, we'd be kicking off coverage. And January 15th, it's the Polar Bear 250 back here at Talladega with the Bomb Squad Racing NXS Mod. And then January the 17th, it's the Rob Reinhart Memorial, the ASRA National Championship from Gateway. Coverage beginning there, 8:55 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, all those races live only right here on JTN. Oh, how the turns tabled, Tommy. After yet another incident.
I should mention, Joe, no new retirees from that caution.
That's
so
always good to hear.
Still at our 24. And that's, I said, what did I say, 21 to make it to the end of this thing?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt we see an incident towards the end here. Now, whether or not those trucks make it across the line, I think is the big question. I don't think we're done with yellows yet. We still could have some more retirements, I do believe, though.
Tommy, I don't know.
If I had that crystal ball, well, I'd probably not be here right now. I'd probably be in the Bahamas somewhere, I guess. If I could tell the future. Maybe I'd be broadcasting from the Bahamas, Joe. Who knows?
Who knows? It'd be kind of cool to broadcast from the Bahamas.
That'd be interesting. I think that's even. Well, is that on Eastern time? Who knows?
I'm
gonna look that
I
up right
do
now.
believe so.
It's not that far east.
If anything, it would be an hour. Yeah, it'd be like an hour ahead. It'd be Atlantic time, but I don't think it is.
That's not too bad. You ever been to the Caribbean, Joe?
I have.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
How long ago?
It would have been 2018, I think.
Oh, well,
2018
that's
or
pretty recent.
2019.
That's
Can't
very
remember.
recent. Wow.
Can't remember if it was going into college or the first summer. It's that first summer after freshman year of college. Can't remember. Or university,
Right, right.
as the people that turn their nose would say.
Well. I had no idea. I don't.
That's
I
the
don't
one
remember.
place I have been.
That's pretty fun.
I've only been to Canada once on a school trip, even though I live, 30 minutes from the border, maybe?
You can probably see it from your house. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. Tommy, that is a good question that I'm going to do some research to try to figure out.
Yeah. I have not been to the Bahamas, or the Caribbean, or out of the country, I suppose. I guess I've been to Canada a few times, but I don't know if I can even count that. It's Canada. It's just America,
I've been
too.
told we're just in, southern Canada, so...
Yeah.
In 2017, so probably 2019. There's no way we did 2 years in a row. Don't go on cruise ships right now, though. Dangerous proposition.
That seems to be the buzz.
I think the CDC just recommended don't do that. Whatever you think of the CDC, notwithstanding, but I think that's a pretty safe thing to say. Don't go on a cruise ship. Getting ready to go back green though. Danny Hardy with control here. Borgione, Diesel on the outside there in second. Monty Keller, Brian Boyles, and Brian Lovell, your top five here for the restart. Tommy, you ever been on a boat?
I have.
Wow.
Back in 2009, I was on a cruise to Alaska.
Just any boat. You could have said a
Oh.
rowboat, and I would have accepted
Well,
it.
yeah, I've been on many boats in that case. I've been on, on that cruise in Alaska, we were on one of those boats, the Lucian Ballad, the crab fishing boats.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we were out there on one of those, good times. Good times.
Sometimes we're fishing for conversation topics under yellow, folks, and we can't thank you enough for sticking with us because we have some of the greatest racing in a long time here at Talladega tonight. These guys are putting on a fantastic show. We get the cautions and whatnot, but it's been...
This is, I don't mean to impose or anything, but
Yeah.
this by far has got to be the best race of the year so far.
best one here on JTN, you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't think of another race this year that would have beat it at this point.
No, I don't either. I mean, it's been such a lackluster year so far for racing, then these guys put on such a great show here tonight.
That's right.
How long are we allowed to make these jokes?
Probably another week, I would say. We have amnesty for it. After that, it might not end well.
Don't make me break out the dad jokes under the next yellow. Let's go green to the end. Danny Hardy with control here for the restart.
Going to be going back green with 20 laps to go, right at the edge of the fuel window there. If you've been saving under caution, well, you think you can make it to the end? Well, we'll find out if you can. As we get going back green here, possibly for the final time, but I don't know, Joe. I would say we're probably going to get a caution yet.
I would think so, Tommy. Danny Hardy with control here for the restart in that 0-3 Hardy's Silverado. Green flag. We're back underway here from Talladega.
Well, nice even start that time for both lanes. Haven't seen one of those in a while. Kind of been the theme of the night. One even starts in front this time. Hardy side by side there with Diesel.
Boyles gave that 95 a big push on the outside. Not enough, though, to get clear of that 0-3 of Hardy. Hardy now clear for the lead. He moves up to the outside. Again, that outside line forming up a little bit better here on this restart, Tommy.
Yeah, it is. And we've seen that kind of happen sometimes. One line will get that form up early,
But that other line seems to be able to gain the momentum back. It takes a couple laps, but it's possible. So as long as it's not a green-white checker that finishes this thing, even if you get maybe a 5-lap finish, I think both lanes have an equal opportunity to win the thing. And of course, if we go green all the way to the end, well, there's no telling what's going to happen, especially with the fuel question.
What is that fuel question? What would you ask the fuel right now? What would be your question to the folks at Sunoco?
You think these guys are going to make it to the end?
Boyles to the inside, battling for the lead with Hardy down the back straightaway. Caution's out, Tommy. I don't think there's a 103.0 Nelly on his roof.
Oh my, Nelly. And also the 101 of Havoc looks to be, he almost got stuck there on the transition between the apron and the banking.
Oh my, this one we're going for, we're going to have liftoff here. We're not in Florida, so NASA nowhere close. A couple cars with flight there, trucks. Havoc and Nelly. Haven't talked about Nelly too much tonight, and definitely not the circumstance I think he and that medicine chest team would like us to be talking about them in.
That was quite the incident right there, Joe. Those guys got together and put on a little bit of a tango in the sky right by the catch fence. Thank goodness for the catch fence. Otherwise, those two cars, I'm certain, would end up outside the racetrack.
Now, I saw oil and stuff spilling everywhere. Is that what they mean by dirty dancing?
I suppose. You remember back in the day, the old plate packages used to have the two-car tandems, and you needed a dance partner. Well, that was meant for on-the-track activities, not so much airborne ones.
Now, Tommy, I know we're over, we're creeping up on 10 days past Christmas, but I got a good holly jolly joke for you.
Well, let's hear it.
How do elves clean the North Pole? You got it. You got this.
I'm thinking about it.
All right, 3, 2, 1. You got it?
I got nothing.
They sanitize.
No, that's a stretch. I don't think so. That's too much of a stretch, even for me, Joe. I don't know about that one.
I thought that was pretty good. I laughed.
Well, hey, and speaking of stretching, we're not going to worry about stretching the fuel. Everybody coming down, most guys coming down to pit lane here, and they're going to fill this thing full, pack it, because they're gonna, I believe at this point, make it to the end, no problem. Unless there were a few that stayed out, which that's another viable strategy here under yellow if you're saving a bunch.
You ever packed your car full of fuel?
Well, yes. But not in this kind of scenario. I do drive a truck in real life, so I mean, technically this is similar.
This is pretty accurate to your Ford Ranger, huh?
But that pace truck out in front, not quite the same. But I mean, it's probably the closest of anything else on the track today.
That one's definitely dropped, huh?
A little bit, and mine is the other way, by just a little bit.
Well, folks, want to remind you again to make sure at the conclusion of our broadcast tonight, you hit the link in the video description below and just subscribe to JTN2, because we're new in 2022 with JTN2. Going to be your home for the Fake Racers podcast and more non-live content as part of JTN. Again, that's JTN2. Again, new in 2022. Make sure you go over there, hit the like button, and subscribe to JTN2 so you don't miss a second of any of the great content that we provide here on JTN. I almost like the JTN2 logo better than the JTN logo. A little bit of red, a little more red incorporated in there.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I like that extra red. It gives it a good look, but you can't mess with the classics.
Whoever designed that just needs a pay raise, I think.
I wonder who that was.
I don't know. That was Bristol.
Good for him. Hey.
He's colorblind, that's why he used red and black and white, because he can kind of make the
easy.
distinction, yeah. Only use 3. Folks, again, can't thank you enough for tuning in here. I'm Joe, he's Tommy. JTN's coverage of the Hangover 200 is part of the Bomb Squad Racing League. Make sure, if you have not already, there's 16 of you currently watching, but only 10 likes on the video. Make sure you hit smash that like button. I did the YouTuber thing. I said smash the like button. We appreciate it so much. It does more than you could ever think it does, and it's completely free to do. So please, if you haven't already, hit that like button. We appreciate you so much. Make sure if you haven't already, you're subscribed as well, and you click that little bell icon. You'll be notified anytime we go live or new content is posted. I also want to head over to JTN2 and do the same. I mean, to wrap it in a bow. How good are you at wrapping holiday gifts, Tommy?
Look,
Or are you more of a bag guy?
I don't mean to...
You kind of strike me as a bag guy.
Well, I've done bag before, but Joe, I'm telling you, I don't mean to... I like the reusability of bags, but I think I'm a decent rapper. I do an okay job at wrapping gifts, I feel like. As long as they're square. If they're funny shapes, maybe we have a problem there, but if they're square, I can take care of it.
I think for, younger kids, wrapping is definitely the best way to go, right?
No doubt.
So there's just something that's so much fun of unwrapping a gift, whether it be your birthday or a holiday. But bags are definitely good when you, maybe it's a cousin or an aunt, uncle, where you're like, I like you, you're a good part of my life, but also, I don't care that much. That makes sense?
Well, here's the thing. I enjoy unwrapping stuff because it builds the excitement.
Right.
Bags are just bags, but there's nothing like, tearing it open, get the little sound and all that.
But some gifts are better in bags.
Sure, absolutely. No doubt. There's a place for everything. That's why we got them both,
Someone hoping to unwrap a plaque in a few weeks after taking home the victory here tonight. Danny Hardy going to have the lead here for the restart. Brian Voiles. Herman Reese, your top three. Haven't talked about Herman in a while. Then it's Diesel and Greg Lovell, your top five. Tommy, does it sound like it's about time to end our poll? We going green with about 15 to go. 14 to go.
I think keep it till about 10 to go. That seems to be 10 to go. Because I don't think we're done wrecking yet, and I don't want to, somebody might think one way or the other, they might, have to switch their vote given the... No, give it to the 10 to go.
All right, I'll wait for you to give off that majestical ad read.
All right. The beauty of Talladega is I got a lot of time to do it, too. Big racetrack.
I know, it's not like Bristol where I think I think I said it in half a breath. Want to, again, if you're just tuning in here, thank you so much for tuning in here on your New Year's Day Eve. Happy New Year to you and your entire family. Thank you so much for tuning in with us here on JT. I know there's a lot of other great things going on in the world, in your life, and take the hour, 2 hours or so to tune in with us here on JTN. We can't thank you enough for doing that. We appreciate you so much. Danny Hardy hoping to be appreciated with the victory here tonight in Talladega. Been a really good night for the 03 team. Been a really good night for the 68 as well, lining up to his outside. Going to be interesting to see who can pull it out here late in the going, Tommy.
Yeah, good recovery there for Voiles, and after that earlier incident, to be back up to where he is, that's a mark of a strong team and a strong truck. And a strong driver, nonetheless.
Tough truckers doing tough stuff here tonight, right? Isn't that the motto of every truck series?
That's what it's all about, and I'll tell you, Joe, looks can be deceiving. This is one tough track.
Well, they say a monkey could drive around here, but I don't believe it. Pace truck is off. Danny Hardy with control. Brian Voiles, Herman Reese, Diesel, Greg Lovell, your top five.
Well, drive around it, sure, win at it. That's a whole other thing.
Two completely different tasks. One driver, though, going to get the victory here tonight. Danny Hardy with control. Down to the restart zone we go. Back underway, 14 to go in this one.
A little bit of an advantage there to Voiles on the outside lane. Can he clear Hardy going into one? Not quite. Hardy sticks on the inside, jumping to the outside lane, making it 3 wide there. Looks like some problems for Voiles in the middle.
I think Voiles missed a shift, Tommy.
Might have been just that. That's going to hurt his chances dramatically.
Truck around on the bottom, believe it's the 92. It is. Coors Light Machine, Bobby Farrell, not the night that team was looking for.
One truck out of the way. We stay green for now. Back up front. Hardy leading Herman Reese. My 2 picks, Joe. Here they are. I told you they were going to fight for this lead here. Here they are, late in the going.
Well, Tommy, you know how to roll the dice. I have a feeling you might have gave these guys some words of wisdom here at Talladega. Reese trying to find a way around Hardy. 13 laps to go.
That bottom line, I think, might be the way to do it. And we've seen guys be able to make a move down there pretty successfully. He's got to time it right. He's got to hope he has help with him, too. If he goes alone, he's going to drop back a little bit there. He needs to make sure he's got help with him. That's going to determine whether or not it's a successful move.
Well, you're going to need some help. That's exactly it, right? You need help from somewhere. And are those guys going to be willing to give you the help, or do they want to stay in line and just pick you off one by one? That's going to be the story to watch, is Voiles with a big run on the bottom.
Yeah, we're getting close here. I've seen a couple guys get down there, including Voiles now. He's making his way back up towards the front after a pretty difficult restart there. So the time is coming here for Reese to try and make his move to the bottom. Not yet, but it could be this lap or the next.
Hey, you got to make... I think tonight, if anything, you know now that you have to make the move sooner rather than later. It was a late move coming to lap 40 that kind of caused that big wreck. You don't want to have that coming down to the end of this one, because you want to make sure it's clean. You want to keep it green coming to the checkered flag. So make this move as early as you possibly can. I know that's a lot easier said than done here on these super speedways with the amount of information that you're taking in at any one point. But right now, if I'm maybe Magoo, if I'm Greg Lovell, I'm thinking about maybe, just maybe, creeping down to that bottom line.
Yeah, and it took a bit over a lap to get Chevy Chase up towards the front there on that lap 40 incident, so it takes a little bit of time here. That inside line was looking pretty good there, Joe. They slipped back just a little bit for now, but they've got, I think, the numbers in the organization. I think they're going to come back here shortly. 11 laps to go this time by. It's coming down to the wire.
Coming down to the wire. Inside line getting formed up just a little bit more as we creep towards the end of this one. Magoo trying to hold off Brian Voiles for 4th. Voiles now side by side with Forgione Diesel in the 95 for 5th.
Here we go into turns 3 and 4 right now. Hardy and Reese leading the way on that outside line, doing a good job working together. We talked about it earlier. Being able to work together with someone can be very, very valuable at these plate tracks, especially when the rest of the field is fighting hard.
This time at the line, Tommy, it's your favorite lap of the night. Take us through it.
Well, that's right, Joe. It is the TWB 10 to go, brought to you by GardenLightStrict.com. From porches to patios and more, for all of your outdoor lighting needs, go ahead and visit GardenLightStrict.com on the web. We've got some holiday specials. They've got everything you need for a wonderful outdoor lighting patio space, or what have you, garden lights, anything you need. Hey, they got it over there. So that's the GardenLightStrict.com TWB 10 to go. And indeed, 10 laps to go in this one. It's getting pretty close here up at the front. Voiles making a good move, but that bottom lane falling apart just a little bit.
Falling apart behind it, but Voiles still trucking there, and that Voiles trucking Ford F-150 with help from Monty Keller. They're going to start falling back here, though, Tommy, because there is no help behind that 028 truck.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult for them to try and get back up there with how far back that bottom line is. There's a huge gap there. And they might be the ones, that group behind, that get the run on Voiles and make the move.
How do you open up that pass, though? We've seen 3 wide be very troublesome for these truckers tonight.
Well, it may be troublesome, Joe, but at this point in the race, you just kind of got to go for it at this point, right? I mean, you don't want to leave anything on the table at this point. You want to just go for it and have no regrets leaving this race here. There's a plaque on the line. You got to do everything you can to get that.
Some extra prizes on the line, too. We'll have follow-ups with that in post-race. Make sure you stick around. Going to be 8 laps to go this time at the line. Danny Hardy still with control of this one.
Bottom line's kind of getting back together here now, Joe. The band's back together, and they're going to make some moves here if they can stay with them. Here we go.
Oh, we got one blowing up.
problems.
We stay green, Tommy.
Wow, that was the
Oh, we're under yellow.
028 of Monte Keller. There's the yellow.
You're racing back to the line. Herman Reese to the bottom of Danny Hardy.
There's that move. Who's going to start in that front row? I would assume we're still going to go green here for sure after this caution. This is just for that track position, the all-important control of the restart. It's going to be Reese at the line for now.
And heartbreak for Monte Keller and the 028 crew. They just needed 6, 7 more laps, Tommy.
Boy, I wonder if they had that thing taped up a little bit on that last caution and unfortunately just couldn't get the clean air on the nose and it blew.
Here's a replay. Definitely not a lot of fresh air going to the radiator on that truck, but Tommy, I mean, just the worst possible time to have that engine expire here coming down to the end of this race.
Yeah, and a hard hit to that wall, which, you know, at this point doesn't matter too much as far as the truck is concerned. Unfortunately for Monte Keller, his race right there ended before he even hit the inside barrier.
And Herman Reese able to capitalize on it and take the lead there coming to the yellow flag.
Yeah, so you saw that power that inside lane can have, and I wonder here coming to this final restart of the race if, you know, Reese is going to choose that bottom lane and just stick down there and protect it, because that's the place that drivers have been able to pass thus far. They've hung out well in the top lane, but to pass guys, the bottom seems pretty good. Here we go down pit lane. Drivers looks like they're going to pit. I'm honestly kind of surprised here, Joe, this late in the going.
Yeah, I would have tried to stay out and see if I can save some fuel. I think we were just barely on the, you know, being able to make it to the end of this race on the gas that we took last time. Maybe tires also coming into play, Tommy. You want a little more maneuverability, knowing that you're only going to have 2, 3, maybe 4 laps left in this one when we go back green.
It could be, and as we saw the 028 blow up, I mentioned tape, perhaps putting a little bit more tape on that nose. You got to be careful with it, but that can help you gain a little bit more speed too in these closing laps.
Danny Hardy going to win the race off the pit road. Then it's Herman Reese second, Magoo, Diesel. Looks like Rick Craddock or Brian Lovell going to be the 5th off the pit lane. So a lot of guys coming down, but also some folks deciding to stay out. Chief among those, KJ in that 029.
So just a handful of laps will remain in this one. Once we go back green, it's going to be a dash to the finish. We've seen some crazy ones before for cash prizes. This one's for all the marbles out there. The plaque, the race win, here at the Hangover 200. Everybody wants it, only one can get it. And the number of trucks left in this race currently down to just 22. So for those 60% that voted for 15 to 25 remaining in this race, looking pretty good right now. But you never know. One last lap big one, a couple guys not able to make it to the line, could drop things down to 15 and below. We haven't talked about it much tonight, but that 029 of kilojoules out front there, staying out, saving fuel. Looks like that's the strategy they're going to elect to go with. Joe, I like it. You know, he's been almost invisible tonight.
Why not roll the dice?
Here's an opportunity. Another driver staying out. That's that Forrest Silver Bullet. He's been involved in a lot tonight, and he's going to work on that. Just like KJ, to save the fuel, clutch and coast as much as they can to make it to the end.
I like track position. It's been a 2-lane race. If you and the guy lining up to your outside can kind of hold their ground here, it's going to be mighty hard for these drivers behind him to pass Tommy. And if I'm KJ, if I'm Silver Bullet, I like where I am right now. I have control of a line. Yeah, those guys might do something crazy, but maybe in their crazy move, they start a crazy incident.
Yeah, I like it a lot. There's not much time left, and the momentum's going to take a little bit to build, so I think they're going to be in a good position, especially like you said, if they wreck behind you, you race back to the line, you're in the best place to be. I think if you're one of these guys out in front now, got to worry maybe a little bit about that draft you can get from behind. I mean, we saw Herman Reese able to get around Danny Hardy that way, but I just think with the amount of laps left, this is the right move.
Well, highest viewer count of the night, folks. Can't thank you enough for tuning in. Make sure if you haven't already, you drop a like on the video and subscribe to us here on JTN. I'm Joe. He's Tommy. Here from Talladega for the Hangover 200 as part of the Bomb Squad Racing League off-season. KJ Kilojoules in that 029 with control of this race. Going to have Silver Bullet to his outside for the restart. Then it's Danny Hardy, Herman Reese, and Magoo, your top 5 for the restart. Tommy, it's going to be, 3 laps to go in this one when we go back green? It's not a green-white checker. It's a green-green-white checkered. Does that give you enough time if you're, say, row 3, row 4, to maybe, just maybe, pull off an upset here?
It's going to be tough. You're going to need some help from maybe the guys in front of you kind of jostling for position side by side, and for you to be able to sneak your way through and hit all the right points. It's going to be tough, man. I don't know. I mean, I think if you're going to win this race, the winner might come from those top 2 rows at this point. If you're far back, it's going to be difficult.
Race truck lights are out. We'll go back green. 3 laps to go. Tell us who you think is going to bring home the victory late in the going here. Mistakes that you don't want to make. You don't want to spin the tires. You don't want to miss a gear. And Tommy, you sure as heck don't want to make the wrong block.
No, and you can't make it too late. You got to be very decisive with your moves. If it's too late, that could spell big-time disaster for you and the rest of the field as well.
And you have to be decisive even if you're making the wrong move, right? You can't kind of sit on that edge. You can't live between those 2 lives late in the going here. You have to make the decision and go with it, and you got to be able to live with it too. I think that's something we don't talk about enough with these races. These drivers, they make decisions at the drop of a hat, right? They have to make them so quick. We don't talk about often enough how these drivers then have to live with those decisions, with the consequences, whether it be a losing move, right? Maybe you take yourself out of a race, or if it's the winning one, that one's pretty easy to live with when you're down in victory lane, sipping the champagne here on New Year's Day. KJ with control, Silver Bullet, Danny Hardy, Herman Reese, Magoo, your top 5 here for the restart. Again, 3 laps to go here from Talladega. About to get crazy. It's been a crazy race so far, filled with big wrecks, big moves, and, well, the biggest finish of the year to date. Pace truck going to come down the pit lane. Fans are on their feet. They're not going to use those seats anymore here tonight from Talladega. They're going to stay standing because they want to make sure they see every single moment of the action like you will at home here on JTN. KJ with control here, coming down into the restart zone, waits for that green flag to be displayed. We're back underway. Green flag for the final time tonight here from Talladega.
Great start there for KJ. Moves up to that top lane. Looks like he's trying to get that run on the top side and slowing down the bottom. Block Hardy, trying to kind of be in the middle of both right now. I don't know. Depends. Is he going to save enough fuel at this point? He's made his bed. Danny Hardy all over the rear bump with that 029 though.
Hardy trying to find a way around that 029. He now looks high. Looks like he might just have that bumper to the outside. He does. Big wiggle there. Little bumper grab. Silver Bullet now on the bottom. That Ford truck going to lose a lot of time. Momentum. Crash behind him. We're going to be racing back to the line. Danny Hardy with control on the outside. Going to have Herman Reese right behind him, pushing that 0-3, trying to get him to victory lane. Into the tri-oval we go. Danny Hardy clear of second and third place. Here comes Diesel in that 95, making it 3 wide for second to the line. Danny Hardy's going to win the Hangover 200 at Talladega after the big wreck going down into turn 3.
Well, how about that Danny Hardy? Joe, did I call it or what? I told you that 0-3 would be there at the end. And, well, right place, right time, being able to race back from that yellow. Great momentum along the high side. Some help from Herman Reese. Got across the line in front.
Let's see a replay of that incident that brought out the caution contact with the 68 no 43. Trucks up and over 043, 11, 22.
Gotta wonder how many retirements we might have from that wreck, Joe. That could be one final strike here in this race for our fan poll.
A replay of that incident there, and then there was an incident after the checkered, or after the yellow flag, after we got to the line. You see, here's the race is really Danny Hardy's to lose at this point. Race is on for third. After the fact, 28 going up and over. Brian Voiles collected in it. A couple other of these truckers getting involved. My goodness. That's a way to end the race, huh?
Oh, yeah, certainly. I'll tell you what, some big hits there right at the end after the fact. We'll have to see what timing and scoring does for all that. I think we're going to keep the same lineup probably. I don't know, but Joe, either way, Danny Hardy, what can you say? I mean, masterfully getting up there and leading this race when it mattered right at the end.
Oh, look at
for him to take away here with the checkered flag and that flag, I'm sure he's going to be pretty happy.
Very happy after a tumultuous 2021 for Danny Hardy and that 03 team. A lot of weeks not being able to finish races, and now to start off 2022 with a victory. It's got to feel good for the driver of that 03 Silverado. I know he's a fan favorite too, so a lot of folks out there very happy for the driver of the 03.
Well, Joe, this is unique. Not only did Danny Hardy win the race and fight Herman Reese for it, like I had predicted, but I'm not making this up. 21 trucks will finish this race. Just as I had said, 2 hours ago or so. Incredible.
I think you need to go buy a lottery ticket, Tommy.
This seems to be my year, Joe, already, 2022.
It's your year, it ain't mine.
It's off to a hot start, at least, here in the Tommy's World household.
It's Tommy's World House.
Yeah.
It's Tommy's house. It's Tommy's house. Under caution, Danny Hardy going to get to parade around Talladega one final time in that 03. You see the Earnhardt tribute logo on the bed cover. An Earnhardt-esque effort tonight for the driver of the 03. Through the tri-oval, fans cheering on the driver of this 03 Silverado. Danny Hardy will win the Hangover 200 tonight from the Talladega Superspeedway.
Well, how about that? Good for Danny, and quite the race here tonight. A lot of cautions, but some fun racing nonetheless in between it all. And I'll tell you what, with the way that thing finished, shout out to KJ there in that 2019 for doing something different and taking the risk. A second place for them after a pretty disappointing race. Otherwise, you got to tip your hat to that crew chief and the call they made there to take the risk at the end. Didn't get the win, but to get second place out of it all, still pretty good.
Remember, folks, we're going to talk with our top 3 finishers, including our winner here tonight, Danny Hardy, driver of the 03. If they feel so inclined, we'll wait for them to make their way into the media center here at Talladega. Again, cannot thank you enough for tuning in here tonight to JTN. Make sure before you go, if you can't stick around with us through post-race coverage, drop the like on the video. Again, it does so much to help support us here on JTN. It's completely free for you to do. Again, hit the like button on the video, subscribe to us, and also go check out JTN 2 at the conclusion of tonight's race. Got a diecast review going up, Tommy. I mean, there's a lot going on right now.
I'm excited for everything coming with that channel. It's going to be a lot of fun. 2022, JTN 2. Just makes sense.
Maybe for Danny Hardy to do some burnouts, and we'll start bringing in those top 3 finishers to talk with them after this race. That is a healthy plume of smoke coming from those rear tires, Tommy.
So much so, Joe, I could barely even see the truck in her own.
Start off 2022 right with a victory. Danny Hardy birds it down here from Talladega.
He's somewhere in there, I'm sure, but yeah, hard to find him at some points.
I'm going to go get a picture taken in front of the flag stand. Danny Hardy, your winner here from Talladega. Well, Tommy, I'm going to start bringing these folks in so you can go ahead and give a chat with our top 3 finishers. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me, Joe.
Let's start with our 3rd place finisher. Right, driver of the number 28, is that correct?
That's right, Mr. Herman Reese.
All right, we bring him in now. Driver of the number 28, Herman Reese. Herman, 3rd place run tonight. That was a hectic finish.
Yeah, nerve-wracking. I don't have any fingernails on my right hand. It was crazy. The whole night was kind of dirty like that. And Keith, shout out to Keith McLean. He still celebrating New Year's, so I got the call late this evening to jump in the 28 car and put on a show for him.
And with a race living up to its name, the Hangover 200, no problem for you. But benefiting from that ride, and what a good race it was. You were battling for the lead. Herman, I don't mean to toot my own horn or anything, but at the top of the show, Joe asked me who's going to fight for the win of this race. And I said Danny Hardy and Herman Reese. Well, you proved me right. And if there's one thing that Joe hates, it's when I'm right, because it just builds my ego. But congratulations on a good finish nonetheless, filling in. Close at the finish there. You almost had it, really. Just maybe needed a couple more laps to get up there and make a similar move like you did on the second to last caution. You think so?
Yeah, 10-4. And I appreciate the confidence. It came down to pit strategy and how much fuel my guys had to put in to ensure I was going to make it to the end, and that was the difference in Danny getting out of the pits first. But I just watched the replay, and we could have just got a little help on the top there. I think we would have gone by on the high side and possibly had a shot to win if the caution didn't come out. And even so, I was second till that crash, but it was a fun race. I had to drop to the back. I kept going to the back, not to avoid the wrecks, but I was playing fuel all evening. This was uncharted territory for most of these guys, not knowing exactly how many laps it could get. And we kept falling right short of that fuel window, and I thought it was going to work out for us. My proudest moment is when it must be this truck, Joe, because I was in Moses's truck and I watched the C's part for me as I drove through about 12 of them.
Well,
I was 23rd to 3rd there at that one juncture.
Well, let's talk about those big ones, because a lot of young drivers or inexperienced drivers don't know how to get through these big wrecks, right? I think a lot of folks they immediately go to, okay, I'm going to mash the gas the moment I see a hole. But we've seen you, Herman, and not just tonight, but in some other situations where you've been able to kind of snake your way through these big wrecks at the super speedways, or even at some of our intermediate tracks. You've obviously been a big player here on JTN last year and a half, but talk about what goes into being able to make sure you can capitalize when those guys have trouble in front of you without, jeopardizing the rest of your race?
I should set up a webcam. I wish I could explain it. It happens in such a split second timing, and you have to see it happening. I mean, a lot of guys are really good at saying wreck coming up, especially in the private. You see it happening, you're already planning your escape, and you kind of try and see where everybody is. Hopefully it works out. Sometimes it doesn't, and you have to trust the guy that's behind you that he's right along the same page. And I wish I could say it's luck all the time, but I get too lucky too often, and just it's like getting on the highway and picking the right lane at the right time. And that big wreck there, I started all the way down at the infield wall and I finished up at the top of turn 1, and they were still wrecking. It was just incredible. And sometimes it happens that way. Yeah. Sometimes that's the most fun in the race, is missing it all.
Hey, I definitely been there. That's usually the only way I can make some passes. But Herman, once again, congratulations on the podium finish here tonight. A great run for you, filling in for normal driver who probably we all knew it. I said it at the top. We all know you probably had too much fun last night. But before we let you go, I know you got some extra sponsors to thank tonight. Floor is yours. You know the drill.
Yeah, I want to thank Bomb Squad Racing for putting on the Hangover 200s. I think it's my first Hangover race, and it was a lot of fun. Keith McLean for getting under the weather there with the brown bottle flu, and let me take an opportunity to get in this thing and put on a good show for him. Normally he has to, thank one of his Jiffy John sponsors, but I didn't have to pit for that tonight, so I guess they're out. And say hello to my girlfriend who was watching tonight. I was trying to show off for her. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it done all the way. So appreciate you guys being here and enjoying the new year with you. I hope to see you soon.
Herman, congratulations once again on a great run. Easy enough for me to say. Congratulations once again on a great run, and a happy new year to you and your entire family. Again, congratulations, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you, guys.
Herman Reese, normal driver of the 73, tonight driver of the 28, third place finisher from Talladega. We now bring in our second place finisher, driver of the number 029. KJ, I said it the first time we saw you on track. I think you were spinning or involved in a wreck. We weren't talking about you, but then all of a sudden, they got ready to, give out the plaque, give out the money, and at 029 rose to the occasion.
I go where the money is, Joe. So it was go time. So yeah. No, my strategy was pretty much right at the back all race. Avoid the carnage and just last 30 laps, see what happens.
Last 30 laps, see what would happen. But I mean, I don't want to say it fell in your lap, but there were some big breaks in there that I think you kind of engineered for yourself by staying at the back. Would you agree with that statement, and why?
Joe, Tommy, I will take any luck I can get at this track because normally I'm on the hood more than I'm on the four tires. So I just decided to stay at the back and just kind of see what unfolded and avoid the big wrecks early and just kind of play it out and just see what happened. And when they all pitted with 8 to go,
mm-hmm.
I told Silver Bullet there in team chat, I'm staying out. Mm-hmm. I'm going to just run it out and see what happens. And luckily the caution came out because I don't think me or Matt would have made it to that race. I would have ran out coming out of turn 4. So luckily the caution came out. I'm not too mad. I lost the race because I shouldn't have been up there anyway, but Danny won, so I can be nothing but happy for Danny.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of folks down there in the garage area really happy for the driver of that 03. But KJ, it's always a thing we talk about. I think you've probably skipped your fair share of these super speedway races. Does the good run tonight change the perception on them, or do you still hate these tracks and wish that we just took them all off the schedule?
I don't hate the tracks. I just don't like the tracks.
Yeah.
You can ask Matt or anybody who's raced me over the years. I normally don't finish these races. I normally finish on my hood more than I finish on the ground.
Mm.
But they're a great equalizer. Anybody and everybody can win these tracks. It's just a matter of putting your car in the right position at the right time. And if you look at the last restart, Danny was in the right position at the right time. And he caught the caution at the right time and he won the race. It's basically a crapshoot. It's like playing a roulette or anything like that. You're basically just guessing to see what happens.
And tonight you made the right guesses. Started 30th, finished second, came up the one spot short of the victory, but nonetheless, a great night for you, KJ. Congratulations once again on the great run. But before we let you go, you've been up here plenty, and I mean, when I say plenty, I mean plenty of times before. The floor is yours. You know what to do.
Yeah, I'll take second. It's better than last. I can't complain losing to Danny. We also had Herman filling in for Keith tonight. So me and Danny were talking about swapping out Keith for Herman, but we'll see how that goes. That was a interesting race. Had a lot of wrecks early, but the last little bit kind of cleaned up a little bit. Had a great finish, even though it was a caution. Congrats to Danny for winning. Also want to thank you and Tommy's in the booth tonight for JTN for broadcasting the race, putting it on. I haven't had a chance to really listen to it, but I'll go back and listen to it later in the week. Also want to thank all the admins at BSR for putting the Hangover 200 on, and the league in general, BSR, for putting it together, for giving us a chance for everybody to race together. Matt had a good car tonight. Matt had an issue where he was on his hood at one point, I think, and he was 2 laps down. And he came back to be 6, I think. 95, John had a good run tonight. Magoo finished up top 5. Also want to give a shout out to my wife. She was standing here looking at me earlier like, why didn't you win? But, I mean, you can't win them all. So, anyway, that's pretty much all I got. Good race, everybody. Good win, Danny. Anytime Danny gets a win, that's a good win for everybody in the league and sim racing in general. So, good win, Danny, and I'll see y'all at the start of the season.
KJ, congratulations once again on the great run. A very happy new year to you, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us after this one.
Yep, happy New Year's, guys. 2022 will be hopefully a good year for PPR too.
Kilojoules, KJ, congratulations. And Tommy, I mean, I think he summed it up, and I think that means it's time for us to bring in tonight's winner, driver the number 03, aptly named sponsored by Hardee's, Mr. Danny Hardy. Danny, victory here at Talladega. I think you just started off the year the best out of anybody.
Yeah, it was a good run tonight. Thoroughly enjoyed it. We had a lot of laughs behind the scenes on Whisper, and it was nice to have most all the teammates here. We missed Keith tonight, but man, it was a great fun run. I don't get to race as much as I used to. I've been in this sim for a while now, and I don't get to practice much either. So it's nice to come out and even the old man and find a win once in a while.
Well, Danny, I know Tommy and we've raced against you our fair share as well, and besides the congratulations, I just wanted to make sure, it's always fantastic to see you out here running. But I know all those guys down there in that room, they're so happy for you, so proud of you. If they can't win, I think you're usually probably at the top of a lot of people's list to win the race. Does that, what does that mean for you? Because I like you said, you've been doing this, you've been at this a long time, obviously not able to do it as much now as maybe in the past. What does it mean for you when you get the support from your fellow drivers in the garage area, in the clubhouse?
Well, that's an important factor in it. That's one of the things that keeps me coming back, the camaraderie that we have here within the BSR clubhouse. You look at Magoo and Brian and Kathy Voles and all the admin staff here. I mean, they are top notch. In my book, they're second to none. I had pretty much decided that it was time to park my wheel and was just not as fun as it used to be. And then I had that COVID sickness and I was fighting for my life, and Brian and Magoo and the guys kept texting, hitting me up. And my boy, he was racing then before he became a sheriff's deputy. And I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. And I tell you what, I have been totally satisfied since. These guys are a class act. You just can't have no more fun sitting behind a wheel at a chair anywhere else. I mean, it's just a testament to the rules they have laid out and trying to make things fair but fun for everybody. At the same time, it's just it's a nice, relaxing, evening, and I enjoy it whenever I do get to race, and I look forward to coming back here every chance I get. It's we have a lot of laughs. Me and KJ and Keith and Matt. He's on the PPR2 team, and I can't forget Brian and Ricky J. But we had a big laugh today. You know, Keith couldn't make it tonight, and I heard KJ speak up and said he was going to offer Herman a job and kick Keith out the car, because I think that's the first time we've all seen the 28 finish on a super speedway. So we just got a big kick out of that.
I was going to say, KJ just slipped me a note on his way out of the room. He said to make sure to tell you that you finish races when Keith isn't around. So I think, I know he wasn't here because he enjoys his New Year's Eve, I think, more than anyone else out there. But, hey, maybe it is time to make the change behind the wheel at 28. I know you got a lot of sway with the team, so maybe you consider it. Maybe take him down to part-time. But let's talk about just a couple notes on the race, because first of all, I'm going to toot Tommy's horn because he already did it once, so I got to make sure I round it off, bookend it. He picked you and Herman as his 2 picks for the race because we said pick 2, so he did pretty good for himself. Tonight, though, we saw you kind of... You didn't fall back to the back of the pack, but the couple times that you fell back, you seemed like you really kept your calm about it, because it was a hornet's nest back there. How do you do that? Is that just an experience thing to kind of know to keep it even keel, or was it just a lot of confidence and maybe you knew you had teammates around you that could help you get back to the front?
Well, I had a pretty fast piece. I had worked on it a little bit right before the race. I did a lot of single runs just to see how my car turned or how my car held coming out of the turns, because sometimes you can get a bad push with these trucks. And I worked on the turnability of the truck just a bit before we came into it. And at the same time, most of these guys out here tonight, I have a great respect for them, and I think they have a great respect for me. So when we get around one another, we give each other room. Now, don't make short of that. We're going to bump and nudge when we have to, but we have a lot of respect for each other and give each other room. And I was confident in the pack that I was in, and it's sort of like what's the old Cars 3? You had to shoot the gap. Yeah, when they open up, you have to shoot the gap and take advantage of what comes to you. It was kind of there on the last restart. Me, KJ, and Matt were 1, 2, 3, and something happened to Matt. He gave me a funny bump, and I don't know if that took him out or what. But I was moving up to protect the high line, or at least 3/4 up, so nobody could get above me. And just as I did that, KJ moved down. And I heard him on the mic at the same time I moved up. He went down, and he and I got tangled up a bit. But I don't want to go too far. I got to give Herman Reese a high five, a tip of the hat. He had to choose between either me or KJ, and luckily he fell in behind me, and that's basically how I got the win. Herman basically decided it tonight. Now, I'd have got first or second, but depending on which car Herman choose, when you're out there by yourself, there's just too much drag. You got to have that help, especially in the truck physics. It's a killer when you're by yourself. You feel like you're pulling a boat anchor.
Well, you got the right push at the right time, Danny. You got the victory here tonight. You start off 2022 in victory lane. You're going to be taking home the plaque for winning the Hangover 200. Congratulations on that. But before we let you go, again, a Happy New Year. Thank you for talking with us. I know you got other people to shout out real quick and thank, and also make sure you plug in your Facebook page, where I know I don't know if you're still streaming races on there, but make sure you plug that too before we let you go.
Well, like I said, just to reiterate just a bit, I got to give a pat on the back to Magoo, Brian, and Kathy Voles. They do a lot of work behind the scenes that everyone doesn't see. Also, all the admins here within BSR, laps being given back, black flags cleared. There's several admins. I can't name them all. it would be fair if I tried, because I'm sure I would miss some. But, just a high five to those guys. I mean, they're very professional, very easy to talk to, work with. If there's any questions, it's reviewed after. I mean, it's just, you can't really ask for nothing better. But I wish my son was here, but he's out working. I got to, say hey to him. Also, I got to say hey to my wife. She continues to let me do this. And you guys, JTN, what an awesome job you do. I try to listen to every race that I'm not a part of, and I think it's a very professional show of what talents you guys have, and also allows us to have a little TV time while we're here on the sim. So a shout out to you guys as well. And by the way, if you're looking for another place to watch races, my son and I have a Facebook page called Father and Son Sim Racing. It's on Facebook. I typically do not stream whenever JTM is streaming, because I don't want to pull viewers for them. I just do it for fun. And shout out to you guys, top notch.
Danny, thank you so much for that, because thank you. I always love to hear it when you guys, I know you guys are watching and stuff when you're not partaking, and that means the world to me. But I'm gonna thank you for taking the time to talk with us. Again, congratulations on the victory tonight. Make sure you tell the family we said Happy New Year as well. Again, congratulations. We're gonna post that link for you folks watching in the chat, so you can check out Father and Son Sim Racing on Facebook. Again, I've definitely gleaned a couple things from Danny's streams in the past about what to do at certain tracks and stuff too. Always very insightful, Danny. Again, congratulations on the victory here tonight, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you, sir. Happy New Year, everyone.
Danny Hardy, driver of the 03, your Hangover 200 winner. And Tommy, man, oh man, what an event here to kick off the new year.
Well, that's the new year, Joe. For many reasons, tonight was one to remember. Of course, with Danny Hardy with the victory, 21 trucks finishing. I mean, I don't know. It feels pretty good to me. That's all I got to say. And big thank you overall, though, for Bomb Squad Racing to let us broadcast this event this year and give us that opportunity. And, of course, all the drivers for participating. It's a huge field tonight, 29 trucks. I mean, that's a lot here. And it was a lot of fun, Joe. Thank you for the opportunity to broadcast it with you.
As always, Tommy, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule, because I know you're a man of a million hats right now, for coming out here broadcast with me. And again, thanks to all the folks at Bomb Squad, Magoo for kind of really steering the boat on this project here. Brian and Kathy Voiles, as always, for all they do for the folks here at Bomb Squad, as well as us with the coverage of the Cup Series last year. And again, to the drivers that talked to us after the race, to John Forgione for sponsoring the Lap 40 prize. Again, it's a great event, folks, and you want to make sure you check out Bomb Squad Racing. We got their site linked in the video description as well. With all that being said, though, next time we're live is next Saturday night, 10:40 p.m. Right now is slated for our start time. Have to think that that's going to end up moving forward with the dual races from Daytona for the USORL AlphaTauri Cup Series Season 8. Going to be a fun time there. You're going to make sure, if you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe here to JTN. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook as well. Go check out JTN too, because we got some new content posting there probably right about now that you're not going to want to miss. With all that being said, though, for Bristol, our producer, for Tommy Bordeaux, I've been Joe Twansky. Have a fantastic rest of your evening, a happy new year, and we'll see you guys next time right here live on JTN. So long for now, folks. Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checkered. Never mind, they're going to be... Oh,
Maverick!
they're wide!
Who did that?
Turn 4 into the tri-oval. Whitehill is through the grass. It's going to be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
All right, and they're wrecking behind him. We got cars flying everywhere. Cars upside down, but it doesn't matter. Noah Joyce has done it. He's won at Daytona in the 3 car.
Comes Musa. Musa's gonna.
Oh, he's going to use that apron.
He's gonna use the apron.
They're going to be side by side. Coming off the corner. Boy, back to the inside. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Musa gets it.